Yeah.
So we got more people, by the way, wanting to do shows. And I need everybody to imagine, if you can.
There's a story.
So in the morning at 7 a.m., I come down the steps to the studio. Now, I've already been up, posting on Facebook, sharing, every Monday, I have to make a post to do 7 o'clock, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, saying the show starts at 7:30. So I do that every Monday morning. That's what I have to do. So I'm trying to get news stories, trying to get coffee, trying to do this. This particular morning at 5:30 a.m., I was down here putting the radio station back together because I had to take the computer to go do something over the weekend, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then tonight, The World According to Mike happens.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, he likes to believe he's going to be here at 5. And sometimes he is, don't get me wrong. But what that also means is I have to be here. So a lot of people don't realize this. So I get up in the morning after the show. I try to go do some stuff. Then I have to make sure I'm back here. Well, then guess what? Tuesday night, it's the same thing. Mm-hmm. Then Wednesday night is the only night I can really just kind of be somewhere else, but I still have to be available to sign Jacob in, the guru of rock and roll, doing the Rough Edge on Wednesday night out of Oklahoma. And then Thursday night, we have ladies night. And now Friday, once a month, we're going to have Lou. And then every other week, 1 week will be Lou. 1 week, maybe Military Mike doing his 80s show. He's formatting it now, coming up with his ideas. Casey has approached me with I keep saying everything that I wanted to be like Headbangers Ball. I always keep saying that. When I invented, created, imagined the Rough Edge, it was when Headbangers Ball meets Wayne's World. That's what I was after.
Right.
Jacob's doing his thing. It's turned into more of a metal show than an all-around show, which I'm not knocking him because he has his own style. So
is that what that is?
So now I have Casey going, he's sitting right there and he's just looking at me Friday. He's like, man, I really would like to do
a tax assessor show,
a Headbangers Ball. So it looks like if it goes right, that'll be 3 Fridays out of the month. And with that being said, Joey the Voice is wanting to come back. So
yeah, I was talking to him.
Yeah,
I was talking about.
Yeah, and I want to take this bell and crack you across your skull for that.
Well, I was trying to get an 80s show.
Yeah, I know, but before you sabotage me, call me and tell me you're sabotaging me. Because he'd already approached me with somebody told me. Well, wonder who that somebody could have been.
I was trying to get it all together.
Yeah, you should have discussed it. You should have discussed it with me before you discussed it with somebody else. But we're trying to get it lined up. So since Casey doesn't know how to do the electrical part, I mean not the electrical, but the radio part of it, it would put Joey and Casey together. Both of them helping each other out, hosting a rock show 1 Friday out of the month. Now, would Joey's show turn into Joey the Voice's show and then spin off to give him his own Friday and allow Casey his own Friday long term? I'm just looking long term because, I want Headbangers Ball.
Yeah, that's what I want.
I couldn't get it the first time with Joey. I couldn't get it the next time with the Guru. I want the Headbangers Ball. Now again, the Guru's doing his thing, and we got a lot of listeners that want the new modern rock. So I'm not knocking Jacob. Jacob's doing his thing. He's got that down great. I've got to find the right person to bring back the Headbangers Ball because there's a ton of people asking.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do, like the hair bands.
Well, and see, if it works out right, that would put you and Casey once a month on a Friday.
So he's seeing the same thing that I was talking to you about?
He's seeing the same thing I've been saying the whole time, that I want a Headbangers Ball. Yeah. I don't want Two Lie Crew played. I want Anthrax, Megadeth.
Yes.
You know, I want exactly
Power
Alice
ballads.
Cooper's Poison, Ozzy's No More Tears. I want everything we saw in the 80s. I want Headbangers Ball. So, with that being said, if you and him could pull that off, we can put him and Joey together to get it started, or you and him together to get it started. But that would give me a Friday show every Friday. Of course, it ties me down a little more, but it's getting to the point where you guys kind of know how to do this, and I'm not going to have to do it.
And the fact of you being tied down is funny.
Well, only in your mind.
Tied down, tied up.
Well, Mike keeps asking, you know, we keep saying stuff to
Duct
Mike
tape.
about spider monkeys, and he keeps thinking
Spider
more like
monkey.
spider bungee, and I don't get it. What he's
Isn't that where AIDS started?
bungee burns are not good on the
Really?
skin, by the way.
I
So
wouldn't know. You got bungee burns? How'd you get bungee
So
burns?
Bungees can burn.
if it works correctly, we'll have a Friday night show. So that, and with wintertime coming, that means more people will be home over the wintertime, you know.
A friend of mine got attacked by a bear.
Yeah, I saw the video.
God.
A real bear?
Oh yeah, dude's ears laid open. I mean, it's,
Yeah, he didn't want to take his baseball cap off. And you know,
Where?
he's
Alaska.
he's scared to take his
Oh.
baseball hat
it's
off.
probably stuck to him. You know,
Yeah.
it was 3
Damn.
mile hump out too, man.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
3 miles he had to go like that. He was scared.
He passed
Was he
Gilligan too,
hunting?
because it was a 3-hour tour.
He wasn't even hunting. He didn't even have a gun on him.
So he
Bear
was just
spray.
like
He had bear
camping?
spray.
He had
and-
bear
wow.
spray. Oh, you
I
know,
can
people in
understand.
Alaska are weird.
He had bear spray and still got attacked.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
said don't trust in just the bear spray. So back to what I was saying. Hopefully we'll have a Friday night show. I think it'd be kind of cool. Now would it last through? I believe it would almost be like the 6 months of how we used to do the night shows before, where it'd probably be really great during the fall to spring.
Yeah.
Not sure how great it's going to be towards spring to fall, you know, because most people aren't home. But then
Yeah.
again, the great benefit behind doing a once a month 80s, the way Lou's going to do it, is his people or whoever wants to hear it only has to give up one Friday a month to listen to it. And then the people are going to do like the rewind. That's what Mike's is going to be. Mike's is just going to be more of a rewind, talking about what happened that particular week, news stories,
Rock.
think just a
Stuff
little,
like
yeah,
that.
kind of like a flashback, and then some of the VH1 style of Where Are They Now
love-
kind of stuff.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I love the 80s.
Yeah,
That-
something like that.
Yeah.
And then with you, it's going to be like pop-up video, because we never know what's going to come out of your mouth.
Oh, that
Well,
was a
I'm-
great show.
That
It
was
was kind
that's
of
really a
good.
joke, by the way. Don't try to
Whoop.
go with that one. It was just a joke.
No, I mean, I love the hair metal bands. That's what I listen to a lot.
Well, my goal, I want, and as long as I own just for fun, I mean, I want to be able to do, you know, like 3 songs and talk about it. Like,
Yes.
I want to talk about right before the video for Poison by Alice Cooper comes on. I kind of want it to be like, you know, nobody from our generation really even knew who Alice Cooper was, other than seeing him on the Muppets. Like, none of us had a clue who Alice Cooper was at our generation. Mike's generation knew, because they were,
Easy.
well, y'all were 10 years older than us. We had no clue who Alice Cooper was. And the next thing we know, like, we've seen him on the Muppets in the late 70s. And then all of a sudden in the 80s, he kind of revamped himself.
And
Mhm.
Ozzy came back.
Yeah, like
90s.
yeah. And see, when Ozzy had you know, the Flying High Again and all that, that was like a couple of years before me. Like, I mean, when I was listening to rock at 7th grade, I was hearing some Ozzy, but didn't really care for it because I didn't know it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I kind of
yeah.
knew it, but didn't know it. And then, you know, around, what was it, 86, when he did the No More Tears, or there was another one that he did when he kind of came back out.
Shot in the Dark.
Yeah, Shot in the Dark. That kind of kicked it back for
Yes.
Ozzy,
And Crazy Train.
for our generation, because then we started listening to Ozzy and checking out who Ozzy was. So
Yep.
And then we started listening. My generation started listening to Kenny Loggins.
and that right there is to explain of why hair metal took over. Quite right. Come on, feels the noise. You know, I want songs with a little bit of conversation. it's just, you know, it's what I want. And I'll keep going through people till I find it, you know?
God.
What are those black things right there?
Hey, why they gotta be black things?
Because they are.
These are monitors that I have to wear on my testicles. You want to hold one?
No.
It's still warm.
What is it? Is
I just
it
told
really?
you see the shape of it?
It's a testicular monitor.
You see it plugs in. It's keeping up with heart rates and
his testicles are going Bluetooth.
I don't want to hold that.
I want.
Well, you'll hold my testicle. Why won't you hold the testicle? Why won't you hold the testicle monitor? You have monitored my testicles before.
No, I have not.
No, these are the headsets for my helmets.
Oh, okay.
The modules.
They do look like
I
something
know
that would go on your.
I'm doing the Vanna White pose. This is the Cena SM-10.
And there's two of them. So.
Well, there's two helmets.
Doink.
There's two other things.
Yeah, those walkie-talkies. If you don't have anybody
Sure
to talk
made her
to.
think, right?
Yeah. There's not another one. It's just kind
I
of
was
boring.
getting ready to run.
Hey, you know what you call a walkie-talkie that there's only one of? A radio.
Patrick Elliott. So listen, I just got to tell y'all something. You know, when we called him the other day for his birthday, he kind of punked us because he knew he knew he was calling. Well, I was supposed to have gotten with him. You know, he put the rock down for us, and we were trading out the sponsorship, and then was going to finish out some more stuff. And I was supposed to get with him. Well, then August, was crazy because we had to get the pool together, and then finally, by the time I was out there in the afternoons trying to do the pool, putting off a little bit of my work, then by the time the pool was up, I had to play catch up. Well, then September was like the cursed month for me. And I just sent it to him and I said, hey, I ain't got there if I can get with you. Basically, here's what his response was. No biggie. I know you've been busy. Then also you having your issues. Just haven't been feeling ballsy lately, huh?
Nah. That guy's a nut.
Oh, he was great. And then how about this? So last day of the month, right? Last day of the month, I'm telling my wife, I'm like, golly, September has just been nothing but a damn curse. Bella, come on. I better not say that too loud. Well, never mind. She's not paying attention to me. So I'm letting her to go potty. I'm like, Bella, come on. And she goes run out the door, and me running 100 miles an hour, go to slam the door, and I split her tail open.
Oh, no.
You bully.
About that damn long, there's a split from the tip of her tail going back towards. Yeah, man. Split it open. So we've had it taped up with duct tape and gauze and Neosporin. And
yeah, they're not too into that.
Yeah. But the good thing was Bella is such a loving dog. Even with her tail bleeding, I'm like, come here, girl. And I get her to lay down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, now, honey, you need to sit still. And I got her laying between my legs. So I've got her head over my left leg and my right leg over her rib cage. And Crystal's back there, working on the tail. And Bella, I'm trying to hold her thinking she's freaking out over her tail. So she starts to move. I'm like, you can't move. You can't move. And basically all she was doing is, because I was rubbing her side, she just rolled over. She wanted her belly rubbed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, we've just slammed your damn tail in the door.
She's a dang.
And you just want your belly rubbed. And I couldn't get her to sit still. Because y'all know how I call it riding the bicycle when she rolls on her back. She scrubs her back and she starts moving her feet like she's pedaling a bike. I'm just like, you have to sit still. So here I am going, okay, thank God October's tomorrow. I'm getting out of this friggin' cursed month. And then me and Philip, because I had fallen down the steps too, couldn't lift my speakers above my head. Let's load them into the car, right? So me and Philip go to this wedding, and the whole time I'm joking about this cursed month. And every time something stupid would happen, I'm like, it's got to stop. It is now October. It has to stop. So it turned out to be a good day. Had fun at the wedding. So here we go. There's our topping for the week.
Topping?
Well, I mean, highlights of the week.
Testicular topping.
After the rough week that I had.
1, 2. Sorry, you guys. I'm double checking something.
I got some good news in the mail.
You're not pregnant?
You're fired.
Well,
the AIDS results is incorrect.
You're not the father.
There was a box that came, and it was addressed to Gigi. There was no return address. So I'm like, okay, what is this?
If everybody's still loud, let us know so we can adjust those.
So I open it up and there's a pink teddy bear in it. My daughter had sent out gender specific teddy bears to let the grandparents know what she was having, and she's having a girl.
Aww.
And her name is going to be Layla Rose.
Layla Rose.
Layla Rose.
Layla Rose.
You know, I have to pick on this for a second.
Uh-oh. And my daughter's birthday was Saturday too, by the way.
You do realize that one day when that kid's about 13, she's going to spit in somebody's face for giving her that name. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the girl named like Stardust, unless she's a stripper. Why does she want to be called that? Layla Rose. That sounds like a screwed up name.
Not really.
Say it real fast.
Layla Rose.
That sounds like LaDouche. Like, why? Of course, you don't know what LaDouche is, so never mind.
LaDouche.
It's a motorcycle club. But it's just funny. Layla Rose. Why don't people put names together that flow together? I mean, that's like my name's Michael Scott. Now, if it had been Scott Michael, that's horrible.
Yeah, that's like Ashley's Ashley Nicole, Sarah's Sarah Joanne.
But they at least flow. Like I heard one the other day where somebody's first name sounded like their last name. And by the time you said their first name, then their middle name, then their last name, you started thinking, is this like being a police officer where they call you by your last name, or being in the military where they call you by your last name? You know, it just gets confusing.
Kind of like Dick Trickle.
Alrighty then.
That's a real name.
Hey, your shit, you going to the clinic means nothing to me.
No, that's a real name. He's
I know the name,
driver.
but the fact that y'all been having your ailments doesn't need to be discussed.
Yeah, I got a pretty bad old.
I've got Mike's too loud. You need to just mute him completely. It's already starting. You know who that is? It's the love of your life, Jeff Matthias.
No, number 3. He's just jealous.
Yeah, you know, you hear these people with some of these names. Like for me, here's my thing.
Like Jeff Matthias.
You guys just hear names. It's not a big deal. Me, I go to these weddings and they hand me a piece of paper and they go, I want you to call out these names. And here's what's even worse. When they put the groomsmen and the bridesmaids together, why don't they think about those two names being called at the same time? Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Or their initials.
Like nobody thinks about how the names are going to flow when you're trying to say the names. So, I just think people should think a little bit. Now, this wedding I just did wasn't so bad, but I've done some that are just insane. Like you go to call the names out, like the first name would for the guy definitely does not match anything close to the girl's name, and people never think about how the names flow together. Anybody has an odd name, anybody that if you believe your first and middle name don't go together, let us know. But it's just things like that. I mean, I've met like a Danielle, and then you get like the Danielle with the last name, like say a Danielle Smith. But then when you like somebody like Danielle Reba Smith, and I was like, Danielle Reba? Underlay. I mean, what are you trying to say?
That's like my mom. My mom.
Reba Danielle, maybe? You know?
My mom is Donna Yvette.
Oh, yeah. How about the name Northwest? Well, we already know that's pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Grew up with a family.
He went, hey, you know what they should have named the kid? Down South, because he definitely went down south to create him.
Really? Some friends of mine, their last name was Beach. And they were
Nut?
Nope. Shelly Beach, Sandy Beach,
oh
Rocky
Beach. God.
Oh yeah. And then the Miners, they grew up over there by us. They were all J's. They were Jamie, Jerry. I don't know. I wasn't quite that corny. I do have long names for my children. Roseanne, Brittany, Maximilian.
That's not really that long.
Yeah, well, that's the shortest of all of them. Then Maximilian Salvatore and Santino Salvatore. But pretty much all the male, what do you want to call it, men child in my family have either the first name or last name Salvatore. It's a family name. It's just something that Sicilians do, I guess. Our family name is Fisicella. So
Feces, what?
Yeah. So Max would have been Maximilian Salvatore.
Somebody named you Sheet?
Yeah, great. Make fun of my family name. No big deal there, Speck.
Do you know, I'll give you something that and you're going to die laughing, but my dad, before he died, started doing it's the family tree, but they call it what? The genealogical or whatever.
Yeah.
So Pistol Pete Spence was one of the cowboys from the shootout at the OK Corral.
Really? How about that? Well, I told you guys that on my father's side.
Maybe that explains a few things.
Vlad, Vlad the Impaler.
One of my relatives was over there trying to kill everybody. I wonder if my aggression comes from my gene pool.
The cesspool.
Give me a loaded gun. It'll be okay.
On my dad's side, goes back to Lithuania and Transylvania, and
you got a Lithuanian battery up your butthole too.
Seventh, eighth generation Vlad the Impaler Dracula.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, weird.
You look like you suck the life out of people.
Well, they say that he didn't like suck their blood as much as he drank their blood. Because
and there's that big of a difference.
Oh God,
yeah. He thought it gave him power.
Yeah,
and then remember the female one.
Have you seen the last Dracula movie? Dracula: The Untold Story.
I don't know.
Yeah, y'all need to watch that.
Really?
That's really, really good. If you're into like,
I'm not really
the knights and the camel. No. If you're into like the knights and Camelot type, if you're into knights and swords and fighting,
I like that stuff.
You need to watch this because this is more that than Dracula. In other words, this is more the real story where Dracula could have come from. I mean, it still has the myth of the vampire,
right?
But it has a lot of feel of what created it.
His mansion,
more of a better version
Vlad,
of it.
Not the actual place where Vlad lived, but where Vlad's castle is thought to be, is now up for sale.
Yeah, I saw that. It's been up for sale a couple of years, hasn't it?
For sale a really, really long time.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's like decrepit and falling in on itself. That would just be one of those, something like Michael Jackson would buy or something to put the.
Well, I hope not. Michael Jackson's dead.
No, he's not. He's with Elvis.
Yeah,
I was going to say him and Elvis are eating a chicken bone somewhere.
They lost the body.
Where'd you get Elvis? He's not dead.
He's dead with Prince.
Oh God, please, Lord Jesus! I'm surprised somebody hasn't approached you about doing a show. Let's just do Purple Rain.
Okay, so I'll tell you another one I got last night. I wasn't going to talk about. So one of my friends, we were going to try to do the sports thing, and Brad got busy. One of my friends, him and one of his friends, want to sit here. I've not talked to them, only through Messenger, and call the Falcons game. So I don't know, does that mean they want the Falcons game to be turned on, and him and her are going to try to call it and have fun with it?
Well, right now, I got to tell you this, because I'm all into YouTube.
Then I'm scared, though, of what does that mean, like broaching on the NFL stuff,
Yeah. Well, you know what it is the viewer or the listener can't see or hear the actual game. They can just hear our guys' commentary.
Yes.
That's what YouTube is saying, because right now the commentary type YouTube things are one of the most popular themes going out right now. It's where these kids have that boxing where they can change, where they can show what they're doing on Xbox or PlayStation, and then they commentate about the game, which is, my God, the most ridiculous.
Which is okay for video games. My problem is we don't have copyright to be able to show the football game on our YouTube.
Right. Well, that's what YouTube says, is that because the kids are doing it and it's going the path that they say they can go. And when you buy PlayStation, you're actually buying the right to play PlayStation.
Yes.
But no, what you're talking about is
two different subjects.
Well, yeah, YouTube is perfectly clear on that. No,
right.
You can't show,
the only thing I could do is it would be on that screen. It would not be visible on any of the YouTube, and all you're going to hear is our people call it. I'm still scared that there could be that could be a problem, though, because if it was pre-recorded, I don't know that it would be a problem. The fact doing it live might be a problem.
Well,
yeah, because what is that? 92.9 does it live?
Yes,
but they've got the license.
But they got the license to do
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and you got to think too is that the listener would actually have to watch the game and then
listen.
Our app.
Yes.
So
or if you're just driving down the road and you just be listening to our people call the game. But the problem is I don't know the legalities of it. I'd have to double check.
Do y'all like listening
or
to
something
baseball,
if you would like to do? I like listening to golf.
Really?
Yeah, well, I mean, if it's not boring enough to watch it, why not try to listen to it and be bored even more?
Let me tell you something. I'll do.
I would rather call the world
she'll
of
do
putt-putt because that would be funny.
NASCAR, yeah.
I'll
So
do
Mike
golf
holds
if he
the
does
golf.
NASCAR.
So what I would be is like, as military Mike goes for the putt.
Oh, I could make it
Hold, please.
hilarious.
He drops his blue ball. He places it between his leg. Yes. There's a dead silence in the area, except for the clown in the windmill at the back of the 18th. He goes right now. What do you, Mike? Do not put Mike, military Mike, you're not allowed to put the golf club in your rectum and try to twerk the ball to the 16th hole.
How did that even...
Well, because you just went to the butt doctor. I'm thinking about you trying to.
Why do we have to
Jackass?
bring up like
Jackass shot a firecracker or a bottle rocket out of it. I could just imagine you trying to putt with it.
Why
It'd be poop.
And flew a kite with balls.
Oh wow, that's
yeah, man.
So I'll do now, golf would be.
Hey, one of our police officers, by the way, told another police officer who's told me if there's any information about Sherwood Forest, somebody said something about a bunch of trees getting cut down. Send me some information, please.
Alrighty. And that police officer, we need some help with Just for Fun Radio Asapopo. Okay, so you can remain anonymous. I like that word.
Oh yeah, okay.
I would kind of talking about the music thing back, hitting
3
the
minutes
rewind
till
button.
commercials, by the way.
Right. Hitting the rewind.
Are you going to be able to do that, by the way?
Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be a lot of research.
Well, you know what? I think it's going to be more fun than research.
Well, no, but I mean, in order for you to do it, you got to have facts.
Why?
Yeah, I got a couple of
because you got to be a fact checker. You actually have to go find out on this day what happened.
Why?
I got a couple of links.
Because that's what you're telling me the show's going to be about.
It's going to be the military Mike
twist.
No.
Well, you've already got a military Mike night.
Yeah.
The World According to Mike. If you want to do an 80s show, it's got to be about the 80s.
We have an 80s show. It's going to be about the 80s.
Not you getting high buying pot from behind the bowling alley on Glenwood Road.
Why not?
Well, you can talk about that, but you told me originally when you pitched the idea.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of what Drew's doing. Right?
Well, he's doing, his is about music. You said you wanted to do yours about news and events that happen. So I'm saying you would have to do fact checks to do that.
I was wanting to do, let's say, like today's date's the 3rd. So it would be, I had to check. It would be, let's say this was a show right now. I'd go on this day, in 1980.
I think you should do, and I'm not trying to criticize you, but since you're only going to do it once a month, do this month.
Yeah, well,
because you might run out of stuff about one day. Yeah, what if it was a day like at Stephanie's house that nothing happened that day, or like at my house, I fall down the steps, slam the dog's tail on the door. I mean,
Yeah, and that's not really newsworthy. Well,
which one, mine or hers?
Bella's tail is.
You should see it now with a big old chunk of duct tape on it. I wanted to tie a maraca to it so at least make noise. Go ahead. Sorry.
So a bell.
1 minute.
Let's let's go with that as far as like talking about the whole month. But that's truthfully what I wanted to do was interdict stuff like, Reagan got shot and we were smoking pot on the neighborhood. We were smoking pot on the porch.
Here's what I need. I need it about the 80s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
well, you know who
you're the one that said you got to start delegating what you want and blah blah blah. I want it about the 80s.
Okay. You want me to do the 90s since Lou's already doing the 80s, or I'll do the 70s?
No, you could actually. What I would really like, which I remember saying when the first talk of the 80s was coming, and I said I wanted to do the where we were at 75 and how music changed.
Yeah.
Into the 80s. So it would be great that if yours, and we'll just call it, either flashback or the total rewind or something like that.
70s.
So that I don't want just the 70s is the problem.
Yeah, like one.
I wouldn't mind you saying in this month, this, I don't even want it by the week because you'll run out of conversation on this month in 1970, this happened. And then talk about it a little bit for a minute, and then talk about some of the 80s for a little bit, and then talk about some of the 90s for a little bit. But you already have the World According to Mike. We already have Jackass Military Radio. Y'all having fun. We already got that. I want 80s. I want a little of the 70. I want from 75 to 99.
Okay, that may be outside of my realm then.
Were you not alive in 99?
Well, I wasn't. You got to understand, between 80, I went in the military in 82. So I was in training for a year and a half where, seriously, I just didn't listen to the radio. Then I was in Europe for.
So then how the hell was you going to do the 80s if you weren't?
80s is easy. I mean, you see what I'm saying?
No, we'll talk about it later though.
Okay.
But that way, anybody that's listening and thinks they can join in on these kind of shows, that's what I want. I want flashbacks. I want people talking about when the space shuttle went down. How about Mount St. Helens when it erupted, how big of a deal it was? And then
so much ash.
You'll be able to talk about when, K2000 bullshit was happening. And I just went ahead and dropped the BS, but that's what it was. Every computer in the world is going to stop.
Yeah.
Did nobody plan this? In the 70s, we rode in the 70s up into the 80s. Hell, I laid in the back window of a LTD, 1978 LTD. And now all of a sudden you got to have seatbelts on to do everything. I mean, I just thought it would be kind of great. Talking about TVs. In the 3rd grade, I come home from school, walk down Columbia Drive, on to Darrell Drive, walk in the house. We had just gotten HBO. I twist the knob from U, which was the lower dial 2, because you had to go 36 or 69, because 69 back then was just some bull crap, like, religious type stuff here and there. Mm-hmm. So you would have it on U to be able to go to 17 or 46, because 36 was worthless and 30 was horrible. But you go back up to U and go 2, 5, 6 was HBO, and then Stone Mountain, on top of Stone Mountain was Channel 8. But I remember turning it to Channel 6 and watching Kiss Alive 2 and get to see Gene Simmons and them. And then to me, that's pretty wild, because that's when HBO first came out, like we're at home watching Gene Simmons blow flames, dude. Like we'd never seen anything like this on television.
Yeah,
it was so cool, man.
But that's what I'm after. And I'm not trying to be rude, but I got to find somebody that can do it. So hopefully that's something you can pull off.
And the Elvira midnight movie.
Yeah, do you remember that? Well, like 69, when they finally became a channel worth of crap. It's either 69 or 46 that did it. I can't remember.
I can't either.
But that's all that kind of stuff 17. We would need to look at. I can't remember. That's the point. Yeah. That's what we would need to do. That's what the research part's about. But Mike had the idea of wanting to do the flashback stuff. Well, that's a great idea. But that's what I want. I mean, I want that idea. I think it's great. So let's get out here, go to commercial real quick. We're 8:03.
Here's a little trivia for today. Who would have been 62 today?
Everybody born
on today.
So this is somebody famous, really famous, and unfortunately he's
hold on
now.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Stevie Ray Vaughan would have been 62.
And I played him at the wedding the other night, and I had 20 somethings going, who's that?
You kidding?
But I had an 83-year-old woman out there dancing, saying, I need you to play Johnny Lee Hooker, Boom Boom. And the only version I had was Johnny Lee Hooker and Stevie Ray Vaughan. And I played that. Okay, so you are going to have to be licensed through the NFL and the Falcons.
That's what I was
So that's what I was getting at. They would also want to cut in using their logos. Oh God, yeah. And see, that's what I was getting at, is I was pretty sure that it wasn't going to be able to be made. Make him do a show about B-sides, the songs that no one ever heard and no one got to listen to. Yeah, because there were several. I remember the GNR Lies on one side was Patience.
Yes.
And you got to hear it. Like you knew the Patience and you knew the Sweet Child of Mine, but what you didn't know was on the B side. Holy cow, that was the hardest rock of Guns N' Roses you ever heard, and you don't hear it.
Yeah, one in a million.
Like they don't play it. You've never heard this. You have to be a person that likes Guns N' Roses, and I still got a GNR Lies cassette somewhere in this house.
Oh wow.
But the other side of the cassette was amazing.
Yeah, just like Vanilla
I was sitting at Harrison and Memorial Drive, just had bought it, just had finished A side, and auto reverse flipped it to the B side, and we're sitting there thinking we're gonna hear that more mellow Guns N' Roses like we just had heard. And then that first song kicked off, and we're just like, holy cow, I had 415s and a bunch of 6x9s for my mids and highs, and we were blaring it. And it was just like ringing the hell out of our ears because we weren't expecting the B-side.
Yeah, just like Vanilla Ice, you know, his Ice Ice Baby was actually the B-side to play that funky music, White Boy.
Yeah, I was going to say, a lot of people don't even realize he even had played that funky music, White Boy.
And to play the funky music, White Boy was supposed to be the single that they were releasing. Well, a DJ here in Atlanta flipped it over, played Ice Ice Baby, and the rest was history. And that was his biggest hit.
And see what Stephanie just did? That's what I'm after.
Yeah.
That's what I'm after, is that type of stuff right there.
I know a lot about.
Sounds like a plan.
So there you have it. All right. We got to get y'all to got commercial time. Everybody, will be right back. It's just for fun in the friggin' morning.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I got a couple of links I can send to you, Mike, that has this day and
Oh yeah, I got it.
music history. Okay.
I get it. I get it. Bum bum bum.
Kim Kardashian was held up at gunpoint.
Yeah.
I'll believe it.
And stole millions of dollars in jewelry.
I don't believe it at all. I believe it's a scam. She wanted out of Paris.
Cold all of a sudden.
I was trying to find the first song, and I can't remember. I think it's Rocket Queen. A little ride.
For what? On the GNR Lies?
Yeah.
No, you can't play 1 in a million. Hold on, booger. Oh, but that wrestler I was telling you about is Jake Roberts. Jake the Snake Roberts' half brother.
Everybody hang tight. I got Rocket Queen playing, but I think it's Reckless Life was the song 1 on the B side of Guns N' Roses Lies. So hang tight because I may shoot it in for just a few seconds.
Yeah.
I think it's Reckless Life.
Yeah, it's the ones on it is Reckless Life, Nice Boys, Move to the City.
So Reckless Life
Mama
would be
Ken.
first then.
Yes. Patience, Used to Love Her, which I love that song. You're Crazy, and 1 in a Million. It's RECKLESS.
What is it?
RECKLESS. Yes, there's no W.
Okay. But that's what I thought. I started thinking about it because he's screaming. And like I said, we weren't expecting it. Like, we just we're jamming. All of a sudden, it came on.
We used to always listen to Paradise City as we were heading to Panama City. And we would sing at Panama City instead of Paradise City. Oh, great. Travis said that his stomach's all messed up.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Hold on, Stinker. I'll give you something to drink.
I got shit just for y'all, though. I made sure, look. Well, and especially since now you might have brought a stomach bug.
Well, see, Saturday night.
How you sound with a mask over your face?
We went to the buffet restaurant in Monroe, and then Saturday night about 3 o'clock in the morning, I guess I got up sick as all get out, and I thought it might have been something I ate. I thought I was gonna die.
So you thought you were sick and you came anyways?
No. It was just Saturday. I thought it was something that I ate. I thought it was food poisoning. It was
all right.
just
Well, you got to keep all that in mind before you show up here. Because I sure would hate to know.
Oh, I was fine yesterday.
End up making Zay sick.
Y'all know there was a protest last couple of nights in LA?
No.
I didn't either.
But we can talk about it. Everybody okay this morning?
I'm tired.
I figured I saw the 3 a.m. I'm lonely stuff again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't get.
All I can tell you is, Mike, I don't know what the hookers' rates are for the hour.
Can't keep them till 3.
Why don't you get them at midnight then? Like,
they're already
all right, we're back. So we're having a conversation. So Mike's explaining that you can't keep a hooker past 3. So I'm like, instead of getting her at 9 and attempting to keep her till 3, why don't you get her at midnight and keep her to 5?
Because they're already tired.
There is not a hooker union.
Yeah, there is.
For real?
No.
Like they got a whole dental plan? And
you never heard of the Sisterhood of the Traveling Panties?
Not for me. I thought we just said if you're sick, keep that to yourself.
Yeah. I mean, are you talking about like sick in the head, or I got a couple brain damage loose?
Yeah, because we're all kind of.
Don't they give you a spend the night rate?
Nah, they do, but it's too high.
I mean, I know you don't have to kiss them or nothing. Who would want to? But
yeah.
I got a pretty bow.
Oh my God! You know my dad, and we're at 8. We're at 8:13, so I'm going to say this. It's going to be nasty. But
how do we go from that to that?
My dad used to make comments all the time when you would talk about like slutty girls, and my real dad, he would just say it. He would just say whatever, and he'd go, "Really, you won't lick it, but you'll stick it? Why would you do that to yourself? Like if she's that kind of girl." That you're like, well, I don't know where she's been. Then why are you messing with her?
That's right.
Like if you can't kiss her, why are you messing with her?
Yeah.
And then my grandfather, they go, well, and we used to take, like whoever we were dating, we'd take down to the hunting camp where my grandfather's, actually it was his farm. And, he would just look up and say, well, if she'll sleep with you, she'll sleep with anybody.
Oh, yeah.
And if she'll sleep with you that easy, she done slept with somebody else that easy. And he would say it at the table in front of her. He wouldn't even care. He'd just call it how he saw it, So it was, I didn't take too many hooers down to my grandfather's house because he would call her out. I mean,
well, most of them know their hooers. Most hooers know their hooers.
You think?
Yeah. Especially now with PayPal and Uber. Alrighty then.
How about those apples?
How about those? Police erupt in South LA for a second night after police fatally shoot an armed teen. Oh, here we go again. Same conversation every day of the week.
Say that again.
Is that the one where the guy was holding a electronic cigarette and they thought it was a gun?
No,
or did he actually have a gun?
No, this one is. This is from the Los Angeles Times, Monday morning, October 3rd. Right now in LA, protests erupt in South Los Angeles for a second night after police fatally shoot an armed teen. So here it is. Once again, the police officers, those crazy wily guys in blue, go out there and shoot an armed teen. They've got some nerve, don't they? Jeez, why don't we talk about the armed teen? Just for the hell of it.
I'm just over all of it.
Let's just throw that in there.
I am so over it.
Instead of going after the cops, why don't we talk about the teenager who is in legal possession of a
What was he doing at the time?
Oh, boy. Well, you know what? Unfortunately, and I'm going to be honest here, is the article I'm reading is more about the protest. I'll try to get some information on what the kid was actually doing.
Well, you know, sometimes they'll say,
yeah, it was,
you know, suspect in armed carjacking or armed robbery.
All this shows is everybody hugging and crying and all that other stuff. And oh boy, I don't know what to say about this stuff anymore, because I think we were talking about it with Casey, was public opinion policing, you know?
Well, I saw something the other day, and it was a joke. I can't remember who sent it to me, but it's like a picture of a little paperback book that says, "If I was a cop, I would
quit."
Well, no, I mean it's something to share on Facebook, because there's so many people. You know, I would this, and if I was a cop, I'd do this. So the book was called "If I Was a Cop, I Would," and it has the ... kind of thing behind it. So you're supposed to kind of fill in the blank. Yeah. Like, if I was a cop, I wouldn't let that happen. You know?
I mean, I'll go ahead and be fair about this and say that it's generally been a peaceful protest. But I don't understand what as community, you know, and I know how I'm using that word there, but as a community, let's say, I think we're expecting a little bit too much out of our law enforcement officers. If someone has a gun and they're, you know, let's be honest. If somebody's walking around in an aggressive manner, hint, hint, wink, wink, think about a bar that we know, and they've got a firearm in their hand, and hint, hint, wink, wink, they start doing stupid stuff. Well, gosh, he gets to go home with a bullet hole.
Oh yeah, because I just watched a movie which I highly recommend you to watch called IT with Pierce Brosnan, and it involves just a guy being like stupid crazy. And my thought was, the second that you aim a gun at me in any hostile way, form, or fashion, you're dead.
Okay.
Like we say this all the time. Oh, if somebody hurt my kid, I'd snap. And then last night, I was going to talk about this, but on the Fear of the Walking Dead, it shows the dude snap. And I looked at my wife. I said, finally. She goes, what? I said, about time a TV show and or a movie just shows a father lose it because somebody killed their kid.
Not talk about it.
And yeah, just, well, you know, you always hear people, even in the movies, oh, if somebody hurt my kid, I'd just lose it. And you hear people get mad and like say they're going to lose it, or you see them get mad and punch something or throw something or cuss. This dude, they showed him lose it. And that's my problem, is I visualize me the day something happens, I'm going to lose it. And I know I'm going to lose it. I already accept the fact I know I'm going to lose it. You just better hope that you ain't on the receiving end of me losing it. Because when I lose it, you're finding it.
Nah.
If you wave a gun at me, it's on. I mean, you know, I feel naked now when I leave my house without a pistola.
I'm not going to be screaming all that whole stop, put it down.
Look, I went to Franklin's Guns in Athens, first time in 20 years, I think. As I go in, there's a sign that says no loaded guns. So I looked at Crystal. I said, well, can't take my gun in there. I go put it back in the bike and lock it up. She's like, no, it didn't say that you couldn't carry your gun. It said no loaded guns. I said, well, what the hell good's a gun if it ain't loaded?
Oh, here, let me pull my gun out that's unloaded and throw it at you.
Well, you could.
That's going to stop you.
You didn't have to put one in the chamber.
No, they don't want you to have a magazine in it. It's not supposed to be loaded at all when you come in the store.
That's weird.
So what is it, a paperweight? Am I going to use it to hit you with it, or what is it I'm supposed to do?
Something to make my pants fall down on the right
So
side.
I guess in one theory, if somebody saw me put the gun in the bike, then maybe that was a stupid idea because somebody could have stolen my gun versus I could put the magazine in the bike. But regardless, what good's an unloaded gun? So, just saying.
So talking about movies and shows. Okay, I binge watch Lucas Cage.
I don't know what Lucas Cage is.
Luke Cage.
Oh, I just saw it. It's one of the Netflix shows. I saw that last night.
Binge watched it over the weekend. I've been out of the weather a little bit.
And
I give it 1 star.
Jesus Christ, I'm glad I didn't.
What's
You know
that?
what? Okay, I just finished Longmire, and I'm now having withdrawals.
Yeah.
Because Longmire,
Looks like he's going to retire, but you don't know.
Well, they hook you. They
Yeah.
just got you hooked.
Yeah.
But Longmire is such a friggin' awesome show.
Let me ask you a question about Longmire. You think him?
Hold on, wave to the baby.
Hey, baby.
They're
Hey,
fixing
baby.
to wave
Hey,
at the
baby. Hey,
camera
baby.
because
Hey,
she's
baby.
done told Zaylee.
There she is.
She's
There
told
she is.
Zaylee every time she steps out.
See, she's
See,
in the
look,
doorway.
stepping out right there. She tells her every time she steps out to wave to the camera at Daddy. And she's talking to her little automated skeleton friend.
Yeah, I saw that on the way.
And then she'll go out in the yard and turn and face us again. See, they're waving. She's so beautiful. All right, so Longmire, what?
Okay. Do you think
They're already filming the 6th season, by the way? Cha-ching.
Oh,
they're not waiting.
The way they ended it.
No, but I'm saying is the 4th season they were kind of like waiting to do the 5th season. They've already started the 6th season's what they said.
What was I gonna say? Him and Ferg.
Ferg.
No, who's the girl? Vic, not Ferg.
Man, I just wish they'd hook up, but that's what they're wanting you to think. They're wanting you to feel that.
I think they did, Scott.
No, they didn't. They haven't.
I think they did. There
They
was
have
some
not.
tension.
No.
There was some tension.
They haven't, which is why they're letting you build it up. She wants him. Well, she's just wanting to tell him, but they haven't. She wants to.
Oh, she does bad.
He's just not getting. It's
It's
almost like somebody needs to write it on a notepad and stick it to his forehead. This chick wants it, dude.
Yeah, you know what he is. He's supposed to be the hard head. I forgot how they describe
He
him.
is the play it by the rules guy
he's
when
hard-headed.
it's supposed to be.
And he
And
broke
now
up
to find
with
out,
a shrink.
have you finished this season?
Yeah.
Okay. So now you're finding out that apparently the mayor has been against him the whole
The
time.
whole time.
So yeah.
I'd punch that little mayor right in the face. You
need to watch it. Have you watched any Longmires?
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She's not a Longmire.
Do you like Westerns?
Yeah, because I like.
I mean, this ain't really a Western, but if you're into Westerns, you'll kind of like Longmire. You need to go start it, though, because now you got 5 seasons to catch up on. You will be hooked. Yeah. I love that. When they canceled the 4th seasons, when they canceled it, 3rd season, they canceled it on Real TV. It was on FX.
Yeah.
And or TNN or something. I don't even know.
It was on FX.
But when they canceled it, Lou Diamond Phillips.
Lou Diamond Phillips.
Yeah. You do like him?
Yeah.
Because he's
Henry.
He's Henry, but he's old, man.
So it's he is old.
It's present day.
It's about Wyoming.
Kind of like
hold on.
It's Texas Ranger Walker, Texas Ranger.
No,
not at all.
It's a good show, Stephanie.
I was about to say
people that watch Texas Ranger was friggin' hard. Man, I've never even watched an episode of that. I tried to watch 5 minutes of it, and
yeah.
Oh my God!
I can honestly say I've never watched a whole episode of Texas Ranger.
It's garbage. Anyways, you do need to watch it then. At least watch 4 or 5 episodes of the 1st season and see if you get hooked. Don't just watch one and decide then. Probably watch a couple. Well, if you like Hell on Wheels, then you'll like Longmire. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. Yeah,
because Netflix even says that once you watched whatever, it recommends stuff, and what's funny is when you go to my recommendations because you see how everything ties together.
Yeah, because every time I do turn on my Netflix and it shows the recommendations, it does show Longmire. I've just never really actually.
Man, that means you would get to catch up, but you have to be that person to pay attention. Because it's a mystery. I mean, almost every show's got a mystery in it.
And every show builds on the previous show.
And to the next.
Like Gotham. So,
but like Bloodline, did you ever watch Bloodline yet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm all done with Bloodline.
Oh, see, the 2nd season, you already watched it? Okay.
Well, I started binge watching a show. It comes on Showtime. My daughter had told me about it. It's called Shameless. And it's actually pretty funny.
I've started to try to, but I hadn't got to that point.
It starts off kind of slow. I mean, the 1st season, it's like, okay.
Okay, then that explains it because I started trying to watch it and I couldn't get into it.
Man,
and that one you said you just watched, I literally was fixing to start it because I was having withdrawals, man.
Go ahead. But
I was watching 3 episodes a day and then boom. There was only 10 episodes I found out. So yesterday I was like, okay, I'm going to save the 10th one. And then I was home chilling. Nobody was here. And Joey, the voice text, said, hey, what's up? I said, watching movies. And now here I am trying to finish the 10th season. I mean, the 10th episode, I'm not even supposed to be watching. I told myself I wasn't going to binge watch all in one day. And he's like, yeah, me too. And he keeps texting. And I'm thinking, you must not be watching movies too much because you're texting me. Let me holler back at you. Because I was hooked. And then when it's over, you're like, ooh, no, what's fixing to happen? And you're like, I got to wait a friggin' year to find out what's happening now.
I know, it's the worst thing with binge watching.
I know.
Serious withdrawals.
Anybody else that has any really good shows
I'm interested
that we should watch, please tell me, because I need
Cage. I'm interested to see what everybody else's take. Luke Cage, the Marvel.
I swear I want to try. I wanted to watch it, but this is really detoured me. There's other ones called like Eighth Sense. I was wanting to try it, and I've not tried it.
Haven't seen it.
You know, I just can't find anything I really like.
Maybe coming off of Deadpool and maybe watching Luke Cage is what's killing it. But was Luke Cage from Deadpool? No, but it's a Marvel comic. Oh, okay. So you're just thinking. And he's not very super for a superhero. And there are actual racial statements that are said in there that were a little, for Marvel, I thought it was a little over the top. Can you say? Yeah. It's generally the show is filmed or what would you want to say? It is in Harlem, New York. Okay. So mainly all the characters are African American and Hispanic. Right. They're talking about a club. I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but it's centered around a club. Club in what manner? Like a bar club? Yeah, okay. Like Harlem Nights, not the movie or anything, but
like that era.
But no, it's present day.
Oh,
but I'm just saying, there's like a club that has all different types of acts and stuff like that. A lot of drugs. Obviously, there's not any like showing of nudity, but there's a lot of insinuations of nudity. The language is horrible, huh? Horrible. Do not watch with children if they have any sensitivity to language. Okay, so if you would, I'm a pen picture. We're in the police department. Something happened and the police are kind of rounding folks up. Okay, they have a 14-year-old boy in interrogation. Okay, and the cop that's interviewing him, because it's not an interrogation, interviewing him gets a little rough, kind of bounces the kid off the walls. Okay, kid's got a bloody nose. Mother shows up. Okay, now obviously a black mother, black kid, black officer, black police department, and one detective is talking to the mother. They all this whole town has grown up together, and the mother says, don't act all like a cop to me. You're blue, which means to us you're white. And I was like, what? Man, that was kind of rude, So so do you just feel that it's filmed poorly? Because that's another thing that irks me. Walker's Texas Ranger was made like a cheap movie with cheap actors, and like in the Heat of the Night was garbage to me. I couldn't stand watching In the Heat of the Night. I couldn't stand Walker Texas Ranger. Never watched.
As crazy as it sounds, I didn't watch In the Heat of the Night when it was on.
Like on TV.
Yeah, but
I can't stand that cheap filming stuff. The cheap acting and cheap filming. Illusions, man. The movie is supposed to it's supposed to suck you in and let you feel like you're part of the illusion and have a great story. And when it's cheaply done, I have a hard time.
Well, have y'all started watching any of the new shows, like The Designated Survivor, the new Kiefer Sutherland?
I've got them on DVR. Hadn't tried watching them yet because here's what I do. I'll let something record, get 4 or 5 episodes in. The reason being is that way I can at least watch a back-to-back episode to see if I really like it. Yeah. But secondly, I want to hear what everybody's comments are before I bother, because there's nothing worse than me watching something and I already know that it's horrible.
Yeah, because I've heard people referring to it as just another 24, but
that's what somebody else said. It was just another 24.
I didn't watch 24, so I don't know.
I tried watching 24 one time, and that whole jumping back and forth like Quantico, I gave up on Quantico.
I got to tell you that I did watch 24. I enjoyed 24. Quantico was magnificent until about the middle or end of first season. Then it just, now they're CIA. You know that?
No, I did not know.
You know
first season was difficult. Second
they
season,
were FBI. Now they're CIA.
Oh, see, third episode of second season, I just went ahead and hit, remove from our recording list.
I thought I was the only guy that would watch 3 episodes back to back to back to make.
I give you 3 shots, and I'm gone. Like right now, like I don't watch sitcoms. I have a hard time with 30-minute sitcoms. Last Man Standing, one of my favorites, and Dr. Ken. Those are really the only 2 sitcoms I watch.
You should watch Speechless too, though. That one's funny.
Speechless is what?
It comes on Channel 2 Wednesday on Channel 2.
What is it?
It's a comedy. It's about.
I kind of figured that, Stephanie.
It's about a kid that has cerebral.
It's a sitcom. It have to be a comedy.
It's about a kid that has cerebral palsy and.
Yeah, I seen the previews of it.
It's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, I saw the previews of it the other day.
And the main character that is the boy that's disabled,
he
actually does have cerebral palsy.
I kind of would assume that too. I've seen the commercial.
Well, I'm
if
just
not
letting
your
our
one,
viewers know.
Our
listeners know.
Thank you for clarifying the viewer part. I was gonna say that's kind of some good acting if he could act that screwed up, because that would be.
But he's actually not in a wheelchair. He can't actually walk and talk. Okay. So I mean, he is playing it.
It's one thing.
Side.
See here, to me, it's one thing to have the physical problem. This is just my opinion. It's one thing to have the problem. It's another to act it, because my God, I'm fixing to sound bad.
You're saying.
Dennis, what was his name? Dennis Leary. Is that the one that did the fire? Rescue Me.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't there somebody on the show that was? I don't remember. Something about Mary's the best one to explain, because the guy that plays that is not that.
No, okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
Mary's brother.
Yeah.
So I have a hard time with people that try to play the part. But then on Rescue Me, there was a black dude that would always try to nut punch one of the guys. And I've seen him in several other movies playing a cop. And I'm just like, I don't.
But
I don't know.
Are actors.
I know, but
it's kind of.
I know, but when you're making fun of somebody with special needs, though, it just bothers me. That's just my own personal feeling. I'm not telling everybody that they shouldn't laugh, because I laugh too, which doesn't make it any better. But I just feel, I don't know, it just bothers me a little bit.
Well, the thing that I liked about Speechless is, for the listeners out there, I know all of y'all know my daughter has cerebral palsy, and it's just some of the things that he goes through and the mom goes through, I've been through, and it's like, wow, why didn't I handle it like that? I mean, the mom she's one of those take charge, wants to knock everybody's head off.
That's right.
She's funny. And it just makes you wish that you were like that when your kid was going through it.
Well, I'm having withdrawals because Hell on Wheels has stopped. Longmire's is now over.
Yeah.
Coppers, I hated the fact that Coppers stopped. There's
I liked Coppers.
I did too, man.
They're brutal,
heard of that.
Man.
Yeah, there's some.
If you liked it, well, here's my thing. If you liked Hell on Wheels, then you'd like Coppers. 2 different worlds, though. Because Hell on Wheels was after the Civil War, and it was all about the train being built, the train line being built.
Yeah.
Coppers was an opposite. It was during the Civil War, and it was about the Irish police officers in New York. So it was cool because Coppers came on after Hell on Wheels. So you got to see where we were after the war, and you always saw them out in the Wild West while they're doing the railroad, talking about New York this, New York that, and the people making these big decisions in New York. Well, then you turn around and watch Coppers that's during the Civil War, and you're seeing what's going on. I don't know. To me, it was a great show. The problem is, for people like me and Mike that like these shows, we're getting screwed, dude. Like they're not making anymore.
And a lot of those shows, I got to comment on this. A lot of those shows are pretty doggone close to actual history.
Yes.
Which you and I like the detail part of it.
That's right. And we need to go to a commercial, by the way.
Okay, I'm watching Gotham, and I'm starting to get really irritated.
Who's the Mad Hatter that's fixing to come
because the freaking now they're showing Wayne or his father and Mary Martha's death. 1981 is when they was on the gravestone. I'm like,
no,
wait a minute, now it was on the other gravestone. It was 1981. So you know, I'm just one of those guys. I get wrapped around the axle about the stupid timeline.
Oh, that's me too. Now I like paying attention. You know, somebody said something about I was seeing something, I can't remember, Facebook or Entertainment Tonight or something, but somebody was wanting to redo The Matrix. And then there's another movie, Closing Kind of Third Kind, they're talking about redoing.
That'd be good.
But there was another one that I just don't even think there needs to be a remake, and they were talking about redoing it.
Lord Jesus, please don't remake freaking anything to do with the Terminator.
I can't remember what it was.
That last movie.
I know they redid Ben-Hur. Have you?
I haven't seen that yet either.
Is it out yet?
Yes, but it's the camera shaky, wobbly,
Like
garbage.
That was supposed to be epic. Again.
Yeah.
I never saw the first one, so I'm gonna make myself watch the first one.
I haven't seen Suicide Squad.
So you're not missing a whole lot.
Nah, that's what everybody's
Well, it depends on. I mean, it was okay.
Y'all like Sucker Punch? Remember that?
No.
You never watched Sucker Punch?
I tried. I did watch it, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't like movies that you got to be a pothead to laugh at, because you know what that means? It's a stupid movie.
All right, look.
If I got to be high to watch the movie,
somebody call
that
about
sucks.
Luke Cage.
I do know they're talking about making Zombieland 2. Now that I'm excited for, because I can't even tell you every time. I don't care how many times I watch Zombieland. If it's on, I'm watching it.
That one right there loves zombies.
And I've already watched the Star Wars now that it's hit like Showtime and Stars or whatever. Man, I've already watched it 6 times. I've got it on record up there. So when I'm bored and I'm just playing on my computer or my laptop or whatever, I'll just turn it on.
And I got from Karin that Steve likes the TV show Lethal Weapon. It's funny.
Oh, yes. Now, that was what I was going to tell you. We're on the second or third episode of Lethal Weapon, and I love it.
Yeah, it's
The problem is I think it goes back to our generation, because I'm laughing thinking about the real Martin. You know what I mean?
Griggs.
The real one, and Danny Glover. Yeah. So you're watching it, and because you do remember the movies being so funny and good, that's what makes this show pretty good. And it's pretty good. I mean, I really like it. I haven't tried MacGyver yet. I have that recorded, but I didn't watch MacGyver the first time because I thought it was cheesy. Yeah. Kind of like Walker, Texas, Strangle Me.
MacGyver and Airwolf.
And Misfits
and see Airwolf. I watched a couple of episodes of Airwolf. I couldn't.
What about Misfits of Science?
Have no idea.
One of y'all watch
that? No, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen it.
Oh my gosh, I would have thought that y'all would have liked. What about that show V?
The only reason I watched the second one is because I watched the first one as a kid, and the problem was they started getting a little lame on the storyline, which again is why they canceled it.
Yeah, and then Rush Hour.
I started recording it, never watched it. I never heard anybody talk good about it. Yeah, see, nobody ever talked good about it, so I didn't watch it.
Gosh, there was one that was so incredibly terrible. Oh, Shield, Agents of Shield.
Oh God, I tried watching that at first. Oh God, and Scorpion.
They're doing the Ghost Rider thing in the Agents of Shield now, which got Travis's attention because of the car that they're using. So we watched the first one of it.
It's lame. They have to put a car in something to try to suck other people in.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Like the show sucks. Let's put a car in it and see if we can try. Let's redo Knight Rider then.
Well, you know, I was digging the whole.
Well, they tried.
I know that's a joke, Stephanie. That's what I'm saying.
I gotta tell you, I really thought it was some of the costumes and the makeup are so cheesy, but Arrow, see the Ghost Rider.
Oh,
for some reason, I'm still sucked into Arrow right now. Even though I know the storyline's getting lame, I'm still sucked into it.
I haven't watched it.
Yeah, Felicity's what I watch it for, right?
I want to have Felicity's puppies. But you know how they merged it over with the Flash.
Yeah, and I like the Flash. The thing I like about the Flash though is it doesn't have that much violence, and it's still comic bookish.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? It's still semi-comic bookish, whereas Arrow's not. It's Arrow's gotten a little cheap.
What is the deal? And y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, but the main character,
of who?
Arrow.
Yeah,
okay.
Okay.
All right, the main character of Arrow. What does his hair and eyebrows look weird to y'all all the time?
I don't know.
I haven't watched it.
No, I'm talking about from day one. It just looks like the guy's wearing a tube.
I don't know.
And other than that, I kind of, if you go like what you just said, if you understand it's not real, it's not supposed to be real.
Yeah, it's comic book.
But it's not really comic book. It's more like, for me, now you guys probably don't remember this, but I used to get detective comic books.
No.
I used to get a thing called detective stories, and they were comic books, but they were like little mystery type things.
No,
they weren't
kind of like the Walking Dead comic books.
No, that came later. That was kind of like after Swamp Thing and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, is it kind of
more like, I hate to say this, I'm never gonna live this one down. Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys.
Hey, I loved the Hardy Boys.
He was
Sean
a geeky.
Cassidy.
He was a geeky little bitch, but
that was my first crush ever, was Sean Cassidy.
I'm talking about the actual book stuff, but I know what you mean.
Know.
Her first crush was Sean Cassidy.
He was my first crush.
Okay, now can we move on to something else?
You said something
but do you know that he's actually a writer, producer, something? But the show Supernatural, he's a director or something to do with that. Sean Cassidy.
Isn't it weird that the shows that talk about like Mitzler, the investigative reporter, and Frontline and all those shows viewings are tanking, but freaking Arrow and Luke Cage are off the charts.
Yep. All right, hang tight, everybody. Let's go. I had to quit watching Supergirl too. We'll be right back, everybody. We'll talk about the Fear of the Walking Dead, how they ended that last night. We'll be right back.
I didn't see it yet. Spoiler
well, then you're
alert.
screwed.
Spoiler alert.
The Walking Dead's not on.
Fear the Walking Dead is what he said.
Fear the Walking Dead went off, and in 2-3 weeks, Walking Dead will come back out.
I last like night shows that have that. You know, like if somebody shoots somebody with a laser gun, let's say, and it knocks the guy 20 feet back. The next time he shoots somebody with that laser, I would like him to see him go 20 feet back. Not
Star Wars. I saw that the other day. Han Solo grabs Chewie's gun and shoots somebody and blows him across the damn room.
Yeah. I mean, that's cool if that's what it's going to do all the time. But like,
or is there going to be a switch? I'm now putting it into blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and that's all you got to do, and I'm cool with it. Set
or tell me that we have different settings.
Yeah, set
just
your
say
it.
To
stun.
Right.
You know.
Or what about iZombie?
Oh my God, iZombie suck.
What about what's the kid? The IT kid. That's it's not iRobot. It's you know which one I'm thinking about?
Yes, it is.
Really? That show?
I thought it was Mr. Robot. Is that the one?
Mr. Robot.
No.
The movie or the TV show? I'm talking about TV show.
I'm talking about TV show is Mr. Robot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The geeky guy, and you know what? I believe
he's.
I almost believe that Christian Slater is not a real person. I've only watched the first season, and then I got burned out with it because I found it to be stupid. But I almost picture that the geek, has a mental thing, and he's thinking he's seeing Christian
Fight
Slater.
Club.
Yeah.
Start watching
wow.
Start watching
big
it that
twist.
Way. Start watching it that way, because I'm willing to bet you that Christian Slater does not exist.
Oh, and there was another one that I started watching.
That would be a hell of a twist right there.
This Is Us.
This Is Us.
It comes on.
What's one Rich is talking about? That's what I was trying to find. Just talking about one like that.
You talking about True Calling?
Rich posted something and I can't find it. I don't know where he posted it, but he said this is the best TV show ever since Happy Days.
Sure.
You know what I'm talking about?
Richard?
Rich Archer. He didn't post it on the message board. It's posted on Facebook.
Facebook where?
That's
on his page. Let me go see. Chili.
That's crazy. I threw coffee in the toilet and let it sit, and then just flushed it down, coffee grinds. And it's got this weird, like the bottom was disgusting. I thought, that looks horrible, and it's really just from the coffee.
Say putting flat soda in your toilet. I know y'all saw that stunt in the bathroom. Well, okay. What was Rich Archer said something about a show that said it was better than Happy Days. Rich, are you listening?
Designated Survivor is the best TV show ABC has aired since Happy Days.
Have y'all
That's
watched that?
the Kiefer Sutherland.
Okay, Designated Survivor.
Yeah, that's the Kiefer.
Good.
What they say is that
so far.
what they're saying is every time they have a big presidential meeting and everybody has to be there, Congress and everybody, that they always leave one guy out in case somebody bombs the building.
And somebody. Yeah.
He was the survivor.
Yeah, he's actually the he's over the head. He's over the HUD and agricultural something.
The cabinet member, Minister of the Interior, Interior Secretary.
Just, you need to quit asking them important questions. Just go watch it yourself. Because you're going to make her stutter and trying to figure it out.
Battleship, because that's who that dude was.
He was somebody that the president was.
You talking about last ship?
You said Battleship.
Battleship, but that's what you're talking about.
Last ship.
Yes, it sounds. That's why I haven't watched it, because it sounds too.
Story, isn't it?
Thank you. Sounds too much the same.
One guy that becomes holy.
Yeah, because he went from fixing to be fired by the president to becoming the president.
And didn't that happen on Battlestar Galactica too? Remember? Everybody else gets killed, and the Garcia dude. Yeah, same freaking storyline.
Same storyline.
I think we need to come up. Oh, Christmas songs too. We need to talk about that.
We're going to.
Okay. We need to. Do y'all want serious ones or fake, funny ones? What?
Well, there's no y'all to it. I'm the only one asking for it. Do you mean you, sir? Can you address me properly? Your anus.
God.
Instead of your highness. Well,
God.
Hold on. All right, we're going back, and I'm telling Mike that he has got to start addressing me correctly.
I'm not dressing you at all.
He said, do y'all want Christmas songs? I said, there's no y'all. There's a me. I was the one asking for it. And I said, and you, I said, and if you're going to have to say you instead of y'all, then I need you to address me correctly. And I said, do you got that? Your anus?
Your dickedness.
I mean, you could say your highness, but in your problem, you would end up saying your fine ass.
I'm okay with just instead of
highness
addressing you, I'll just undress you in my eyes.
I'm scared because I think you already do that before. Last time you mentioned me, whipped cream and popcorn, and that's a strange combination.
Have you seen the machine that?
And he's trying to ask me about a machine.
Have you seen the machine that lasers your face and determines where and the distance to your mouth? And when you look at it, it'll throw a piece of popcorn to you?
No, but that sounds interesting.
Yeah, hold on, I'll find it for you. Also, what happened to the guy I was supposed to hose down with pepper spray?
Technicalities have happened today.
Oh, yeah, called chicken and toast.
No, he has to coach a softball game this evening.
Oh, poor baby.
No, that comes first. Your real obligations come first.
Yeah, hosing it. You think he's listening?
I don't know,
because he's a wussy.
No, he had something he had to do tonight. Pepper spray in his face was not going to help him do what he had to do tonight.
Sir, since I have to address you correctly,
it's your highness.
I was not going to pepper spray.
Can you say that correctly?
I was going to hose
your
down.
highness.
You know what you do on those, man? You hose.
Are you ready to speak to me correctly? I just muted you.
I'll speak to you the way I was before, just really, really loud. Whatchamacallit? No, you know what you do, Scotty?
No, what do you do, Mikey?
Is you don't hose them down in the face.
It's okay. We'll get them this week, Mike.
Yeah, okay. And they go, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
pepper spray is tough.
Okay.
Oh wow, I can't believe that chicken. I was gonna have some chicken and hot sauce.
So The Walking Dead last night, man. Fear of the Walking Dead. If anybody watched it, wants to contribute, please jump in. Poor Steph hasn't watched it. She'll figure it out on her own. It left you hanging, which is what they do. But is it just me? Because I'm telling you, I am more than a little pissed about the commercials in The Walking Dead.
Every 2 seconds.
Oh God, man. Last season, I'm not lying, on Walking Dead, 6 minutes had went by and then we went to a double commercial again. And I'm like, look, dude. Okay, so let's face facts. We understand that y'all realize that you have the most heavily watched television show in the world. We know that. So therefore, for the commercial time, it's kind of like the Super Bowl. You can charge them this insanely amount of money to make sure their commercials played, but it doesn't mean that we have to have a commercial every 6 friggin' minutes. Hell, even I make you go 12 to 15 to 18 minutes for a commercial, and it's one 30-second commercial, not 6. It drives me friggin' nuts.
And you know what's really fun? I'm going to get in on this one because, you know, you and I, for the last 6 months, have been talking about how to slot our advertisers. And I got a big meeting this week with a big advertiser. And, you know, we had to break out the calculator.
Well, we're growing to where,
minutes,
right.
And
well, what I do is I try to go 3 songs and then a commercial.
Right.
Here's the problem. A lot of people say, well, how often do the commercials play? And I go between 12 and 20 minutes. And the reason is, what, Cat Scratch Fever is 7 minutes long.
Stairway to Heaven.
And I mean, look, let's just look at right here. Just because Guns N' Roses was the last thing I pulled up, right? So here's I Used to Love Her is 3 minutes.
Great song.
Rocket Queen is 6:14. Civil War is 7:44. 7 minutes. Knocking on Heaven's Door is 5 minutes. Live and Let Die is 3 minutes. November Rain, 8 minutes and 59. Paradise City is 6 minutes. Patience is 5 minutes. Patience is actually 6 minutes because it's 5 minutes and 58 seconds. Paradise City is 6 minutes, 49 seconds. Welcome to the Jungle, 4 minutes, 33. Yesterday, 3:18. You Could Be Mine, 5:45. Mr. Brownstone, 3:49. Night Train, 4:28.
Okay.
So the point, but I wanted to make sure everybody could see that there's not really an average. Here's what we can average tell you: 3 minutes. We can tell you 3 minutes. So if I did 3 3-minute songs, that's what?
9.
Okay. But we know that most songs are not. So I try to say, okay, if I had 3 4-minute songs, close to an average, that would be 12 minutes.
Right.
So that's why I try to tell people between 12 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You'll have a 30-second commercial, because I wanted to try to not make it quite so crazy. People don't want to hear commercials all the time.
No, God, no, but we got to pay the bills.
I got you. And now we're to a point, though, with sponsors that I could do back-to-back commercials, but then you have 2 commercials. But the problem is, do we want it to go Rob's Performance and then go straight to White Brothers?
Yeah.
So every time you hear Rob's, you know White Brothers is going to play. And I don't know that I want to do that. I think the listeners may get burned out.
Oh, absolutely.
The new car wash at Old Salem Road and then straight to Turn and Burn. Like, everybody would know. As soon as you heard the car wash, you would be like, well, I know Turn and Burn's next.
Right. And you know what I got to be honest with you is trying to get them to understand, because internet radio, the difference between radio and internet radio. This weekend I went to a reunion of my unit that deployed in Afghanistan, and they were saying, you know, we see this, and variable speed, my co-host, she was deployed with us, so we're all talking about it, and these guys are like, well, what station do I listen to you on? That's like, just for fun. It's an internet radio station. You need to download the app. And then the other night when I was in the preliminary meetings with the potential sponsor, I was texting you guys going, does anybody know the URL to the Apple app directly?
Yeah, there isn't one.
Yeah.
You just have to go to the... And it's the same thing for Google. You got to remember, we're not.
Yeah, there is. It's that long.
But it's stupid to tell people to URL. It's easier to say if you're downloading it on a tablet.
Yeah.
Then you go to the Google store. If you're on an iPad, you go to the App Store.
This was kind of weird. This is the first time.
If you're going from a computer, you go.
Their business. This is weird. Their business computer is an Apple. I don't, Apple's generally, like graphics or something like that. This is an entertainment establishment, and I've never seen them they use Apple for accounting.
Well, stability. Stability.
I'm not an Apple guy, so that's what I was asking. But
yes, but anytime, that's how you have to tell people.
Now, I was trying to get them to understand that a lot of these places you have to have Muzak. You remember Muzak to pay the royalties and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, just download our app. Just download our app, and you can have it playing in in your club, whatever.
Right.
And of course, I'm like, well, you're a sponsor. But they know that that's not true.
Well, they can play whatever they want.
Well, I mean, I think it's a pretty good deal. When you think about your commercial at this current point in time, if you're a business and you advertise with us, your 30-second commercial, right, is going to, and you do a magnificent job editing out the ums and
I sure try.
Yeah, and the little dead space things.
Well, I mean, look, James Stone. Real Billy D. Williams, smooth talker, but it's like, come see me, James Stone. And me is a 30-second slot. So I have to make it, hey, come see me, James. You know what I mean? So here, I'll play the two differences. And let me see if I can play the two differences.
While you're loading it up.
So that y'all will get what it is that we're talking about, because truthfully, you have no idea what it takes to make these commercials, because we have to edit them.
And so, so now you got a 30-second commercial, and we have to figure it out, put it in the rotation, basically the playlist, so that you get at least 30, spots. Not 30, but 300 spots in a month. And people that you're talking to, they're like, well, it's all automated. You just plug it in, right? And you look at them and go, are you serious?
Right.
It doesn't work that way.
Yes.
So there's a lot to it. I just want to make sure that everybody understands this. We're growing. I constantly am challenging Scottie with new ideas, crazy ideas, conservative ideas.
So watch this. I want everybody to, this is a good example. I want you to hear what I've had to do. So I've had to take James Stone's
American Family Insurance.
I had to speed it up.
Yep.
But then he starts sounding like a chipmunk. And then I have to change the pitch to be able to pull it back down to his real voice. And then I have to take every dead spot out. So like every breath he takes and every pause he takes. So watch this.
Think you can't afford life insurance? Well, think again. You might be surprised at how affordable it can be. 80% of Americans overestimate the cost of life insurance. Maybe it's time to swap a few small expenses for some big peace of mind.
All right, now.
Think you can't afford life insurance? Well, think again. You might be surprised at how affordable it can be. 80% of Americans overestimate the cost of life insurance. Maybe it's time to swap a few small expenses for some big peace of mind.
All right, you see that?
Oh,
life insurance can protect what matters most, and it's the right thing to do. So, give me a call and let's talk today.
Well, I mean, I think people are going to take into consideration.
Life insurance can protect what matters most, and it's the right thing to do. Give me a call and let's talk today.
American Family Insurance.
All right, so you see the difference, and that's what people don't understand when people go, oh, you can just make a commercial. I'm like, you do realize that every time you go, you have to take a breath. That's not only is it a second or two I have to take out, that's sound I have to take out. And we're on a limited amount of seconds. We have 30 seconds, and there's 1 second in the beginning and 1 second at the end that are your fade in and your fade out. So you have 28 seconds to try to say as much as you can possibly say.
We generally write down our notes and stuff like that. Sometimes we try to wing it. and it's we get some great gag reel stuff.
Right.
Okay, so
well, with this being said, I'm looking for the one I played James the other day. It's me doing the Harley commercial. And what technically in the real world, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to say the name of the business three times.
Right.
The problem is, for instance, I was trying to plug two businesses. It was the Harley Davidson dealership in Macon at the Hooters of Macon. So it's like, holy cow, how hard is this? You know, like, is this even possible? And it took me forever to be able to get it out of my mouth. I'm scrolling down now looking because God know I can't remember how long ago it was.
Yeah.
But I mean, just dang, dude, it was. Here this says script. Cabin fever. Let's see if this is it.
Cat scratch fever.
I'll see if this is it. Come on, come on. You can do it. But again, you know, you just don't realize how much stuff goes into what we try to do. All right, check this out and see if this is it.
Get your motor started and join all your friends from Harley Davidson of Macon at Hooters of Macon. Tuesday, August 7th
That's the second
at 7:30 for bike, food, and drink specials. Vendors on display.
That's what they wanted me to copy. So it's just, it just blows your mind when you think about all the stuff that it takes to do what we do.
Yeah. And internet radio, this is the way I kind of explained regular radio. You pump out a certain amount of wattage, and they basically come up with a circle or a listening area that's like guaranteed by the technology, guaranteed by the wattage. Well, the thing about it is in WKRP days, wattage might have been a penny a kilowatt, but now wattage is a heck of a lot more expensive. Granted, there's more efficient computers out there, but if you think about it, do you want to advertise your business with something that's tapering off, or do you want to advertise your business with something that's starting to climb? I would say go with internet radio. And the simple reason is that each and every day in internet radio news, you can see where just more stations. Look at all the like WSB, you can stream live to your computer, but they still got the same 750 AM station. Right? 1 out of a million. So do you want to be 1 out of a million, or do you want to be a million, out there? And here again, some people are concerned that their product or service is a local, but it services them too. So when you say, they ask me how many listeners, and I always go, well, potential for 7 billion.
That's right.
Because if you have the internet, if you have a mobile phone, which, guys, look, tablets are going away.
Well, now the phones are bigger.
Yeah, the phones are going to be bigger, and that's it. I tell you what, some of the breakthrough stuff that I had to do on my paper last week for controlling your car, controlling aircraft, controlling your email. I'm telling you, they're going to get that Google Glass type thing down, and it's going to work in conjunction with your smartphone.
Oh, yeah, before it's over with.
Yeah.
I don't think the tablets are necessarily going out of style. They're starting to make them more like this one that I have in front of me, like the Surfaces, where they're bigger.
But they're also making them smaller
and clear.
Yeah.
I mean, like they made they went ahead and took this iPad Pro and dropped it back down to 9 inches, which is smaller than the original iPad, but a little bigger than the Note, because everybody's going to that. All right, just check this out and let's see if this is it.
Hey, this is DJ Scottie, and it's time to fire up those bikes and join all your friends from Harley Davidson and Macon at Bike Night over at the Hooters in Macon, Tuesday, September 4th at 7:30. There'll be food specials and drink specials, vendors to see, a 50-50 drawing, music by DJ Scottie. Harley Davidson of Macon knows how to throw a party, and Tuesday night, Hooters of Macon is the place to be. Register to win a large flat screen TV from Law Bike. Also, goodies given away from Jeff Smith Automotive out of Warner Robins. Bike Night's the place to be. You ought to be there. The first Tuesday of every month at Hooters of Macon, sponsored by Harley Davidson of Macon.
Do you know how hard that took me 4 hours? Let's see here.
Hey, this is DJ Scottie, and it's time to fire up those bikes and join all your friends from Harley Davidson and Macon at Bike Night over at the Hooters in Macon at 7:30. There'll be food specials and drink specials, vendors to see, a 50-50 drawing, music by DJ Scottie. Harley Davidson of Macon knows how to throw a party, and Tuesday night, Hooters of Macon is the place to be. Register to win a large flat screen TV from Law Bike. Also, goodies given away from Jeff Smith Automotive out of Warner Robins. Bike Night's the place to be. You ought to be there. The first Tuesday of every month at Hooters of Macon, sponsored by Harley Davidson of Macon.
Clever.
And nobody knows the sorrows. I'm telling you, man. You try saying all that fast, because usually, like I said, it's just one company name that you have to plug 3 times. I had to plug 2 of them in 3 times, and it wasn't like I was saying, Charlie's. You're having to say Harley Davidson of Macon at Hooters of Macon, and you're just like, holy cow! Do you know how many errors I made?
We do have some good gag reels. All right, so let me segue.
Where are we going?
Okay to segue? It's time of the year. DJ Scottie is requesting Christmas songs from all of our local talent.
Yes.
Which means me. I get to do one, right?
Sorta. What are you going to do?
I don't know. Should I do serious? Should I do funny?
It's Christmas. I need you to like redo Porky Pig's Christmas.
Are you serious? Because I can do serious. I can do
what kind of? I'll take serious, but here's what I want.
It's the
here's what I want. Everybody can go to B98.5 for like 24 hours a day of traditional Christmas music when that time of the year starts.
Yeah, 104.7.
My problem is our listeners are not going to want to hear Mariah Carey's Christmas. I can't tell you. I love doing Christmas parties, but I'm going to tell you why I don't like Christmas parties. There's always that one that says, I only want Christmas music. And I'm going, how many Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer songs can there be? Brian Seltzer has done some really cool ones, but then there's other people that, come on, dude. I mean, there's 14 versions of Jingle Bells, which means we're going to hear Jingle Bells for about an hour.
Yeah.
Well, you need to mix it up. And I'm like, but you're hearing the same songs. You got to know that.
Yes.
So I said, let's get some locals to do it. Now, y'all all could go the easy way out, and all of you try to do Jingle Bells. Just know it's probably not going to get played like you want it to get played, because it's going to be Jingle Bells. Yeah. So what I want out of everybody is somebody to pick some songs. I want Savannah Webb, who doesn't want to do Christmas songs, but I'm calling you out, you little punk. I want her to be like, I saw my old man kissing Mrs. Claus. And then,
that was bad.
Throw something about her after saying Claus, make comments about seeing her draws. I mean, I'm just saying, are you doing one? I want some funny ones. I want the Rockdale Sheriff's Department to do the 12 Days of Christmas, like 4 heroin needles, 3 OD suspects, 2 dead bodies, and 1
beer
corner. See what I'm saying?
No.
I think it would be awesome.
Ouch.
What was that Christmas song where they did it like that, and then the very last thing was beer? It was.
I don't know, Stephanie, because your dumbass only thinks of beer.
No,
so I don't know.
The 2 hoser dudes.
Yeah.
From up in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
But yes, I want some serious songs. Don't get me wrong. So my Uncle Donnie's younger sister is married to a guy named Jimmy. That's like, he doesn't sing, but he's one hell of a songwriter and guitar player and everything else. Well, he's sending me some of his Christmas music that's something like some Joe Satriani. Remember him?
Cool. Yeah.
So that there'll be like some cool guitar Christmas, but not words. I want different. I want where once, every hour or once every 2 hours, but it's probably going to be, I'm probably going to rewrite the script on the player. So, we'll get like one Christmas song an hour.
And that's not bad. 104.7, The Fish, they play Christmas music right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, one of the.
But that's what I'm getting at is everybody's stuck listening to it. I want it where I want some cool Christmas. I want traditional Christmas songs with your twist, your version of the traditional song, like Hall & Oates, rocking around the Christmas tree. I want that.
Well, I can do a serious one, but it's more like the whole Frank Sinatra type.
And I can live with a couple
and
of those.
It's serious.
Right.
Or I can do, and you guys remember, I was raised Roman Catholic.
But the biggest problem is what are you going to sing to like karaoke background music?
Yeah, I'm going to have to.
Okay, because that's what I'm getting at. You would have to.
Now, how do you feel about us inviting our listeners and putting it on Facebook if they would like to do one to come to the studio?
There's a catch. There's a catch here.
Okay.
So for the artist, I'm going to have to give up like a Saturday and have several of them come in and try to record them here. I got that. I've already told people to start practicing, and learn your song so that when you come here. But what I do want to do is everybody remembers We Are the World.
Yes.
I want to bring in all of our people and do the 12 Days of Christmas and each one of us do one of the days.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But here's the cool part is, when you have to count it down real fast, each one of us will have to be in sync. Mm-hmm. Like when I do 5 golden rings, you got to do 4. Then Mike has to do the 3. Do you know how complicated it's going to get? But it is probably going to record funny.
We
and
got
that's
5 microphones.
I know that, but I'm saying I want it funny. I want something different. I just want something different. If we're going to force people to listen to Christmas music, let's make them giggle a little bit. Let's let them go, wow, listen to, Jesse Charette doing something or Savannah doing something.
Savannah can sing anything.
That's my point, and why she's being a hard case.
You want me to mess her up a little bit? You want me to rough her up?
Yeah.
All right, I'll rough her up. I'm gonna make a note right now. Savannah, I'm coming for you.
Just know when it stings, you have to rub it.
Or at least put the cream on. All right.
Jacob says Run DMC Christmas. LOL Run DMC
yes.
Christmas.
Yes, that's the kind of stuff I want.
May I ask?
Like, I want a hippopotamus for Christmas.
Yes, I want that. And my 2 front teeth, May
I ask?
We'll have to get the Waffle House people to sing that one.
Which they would probably do.
Mike's over here about the stutter.
No, I'm saying, can I ask one huge favor?
What?
About all of us and everything else.
What?
Is that we don't write Xmas, that we write Christmas.
So anywho's.
I was always raised that.
Okay, well, when I'm in a hurry, that's what happens. When My Diane Will, they play a little more of a harder rock, we're going to try to get them to do You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. But I need him as he's screaming, and it has to be, you got to be able to hear it. Does that make sense? Like they do more grungy metal.
Oh, okay, I got you.
But I'm gonna need it figured out so that they can do it and still have their evilness put into it with the metal sound. But I need it where you can hear it.
And who would do the Chipmunk song? Because that would be a funny one too.
Well, I got Audacity, so all I got to have is somebody to do it, and then I can change it. Because if you watch this right here, so this is what I was trying to explain about changing the pitch. So here we go. Stephanie, sing the Chipmunk one. What do you need? You need like a sample of it? We need to go to commercial. Do we need a sample?
Yeah, because I want.
Okay.
That was such an awesome version. Okay.
Christmas.
But Stephanie's version would be like, me want to eat something to make me poop.
Ashley thought that was funny. Because, Dave is hollering.
Okay, hang on. Here you go. Watch it be a commercial first.
All right, you chipmunks, ready to sing?
All right, Steph, you're going to have to do this.
Yeah, let's sing it now.
Okay, Simon?
Okay. Okay.
Alvin!
Christmas time is here. Time for toys and time for cheer.
You got it?
We've been good, but we can't last. Hurry.
You got it?
I
Just
don't
sing.
remember how the
Listen,
chorus-
woman. Just sing Jingle Bells. That's all I need you to do.
Jingle bells.
Okay, not
jingle
yet.
bells.
Wait. Golly. All right, are you ready?
Okay.
All right, look, I'm going to give you the hand.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Hey!
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
Batman
jingle
smells.
bells.
Okay, that's enough.
And Robin
Okay.
lost an egg.
So watch this.
Lost tonight.
Here we go.
Crystal
Jingle
says,
bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is.
Okay. See what I mean? That's all I'd have to do.
yeah, that's funny.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is.
So, see? So right now, there would be that. Let me kick my volume down because where I yelled.
Oh, yeah, because it peaked.
It peaked. Please
It peaked.
never look at me and smile. Like Stephanie just licked her lips and
Oh, whatever.
and gave me like the weirdest eye ever. Like,
Lord Jesus, be talking about people.
all right, here we go.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle bells. Batman smells.
Okay, so there you go.
Or,
So I'm just saying, there's things that can be done. I just think it would be really cool.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I would love to try to get James in here with his
Yeah.
voice.
Darth Vader voice.
Yeah, he could do. There's. I was just looking.
But I
up
need
before
to
we
everybody
figured it
start researching. Like
Yeah.
if there's a song you want to sing, you need to like YouTube it.
Yeah, and there's a
Learn it.
lot of funny Christmas lyrics. You know, people have done parodies where they've changed the words to the song. So
Little
There-
Richard says he doesn't need to change his voice with a computer. I need Little Richard to sing as Cookie.
I need Little Richard to come in here in a little dwarf elf outfit.
If Little Richard could sing a good Christmas song as Cookie, practice it and get it sang up like Cookie. So he sent a text the other day and said if Cookie and Cream had a baby, it would be called Oreo. I said if Cookie and Cream had a baby, it would be called Oreo Blizzard because they'd both be Dairy Queens.
Yeah, that doesn't.
A blizzard, you know, like a shake, not stirred.
Shaking
So how about that
my
commercial?
stud.
We'll be right back, everybody. It's just for fun in the morning.
Whoop whoop.
I'm freezing.
That's because I got that.
Percolating.
You know what's a big thing going around too? We're starting to is people doing selfies, but they're saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
Are y'all going with me Saturday and Sunday?
Saturday. I know Sunday.
The first responders.
Oh crap!
Driving a
That's
crime
Saturday.
was.
That's Saturday too. I'll have to.
Because I'm going to make sure that not only do I do the national anthem, as soon as the national anthem's done, it goes straight into the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm going to say I need everybody to remain standing as we will now do the Pledge of Allegiance. And I will have Travis walk out with a freaking flag. We are doing it. I don't care what you say.
You need a big American flag.
I mean, I just got like a standard one.
Yeah, I watched something last night. It was on channel 69. I can't remember the name of the lady, but she had one of the guys from the NFL on and was talking to him. And I didn't know that the president had came out and made a statement that now he's not really backing Pumpernickel Pickle Eater.
Well,
because he
See, everybody
that it's
would
not
say-
showing patriotism.
everybody would say, "Hey, look, I understand where the guy's coming from, freedom," but then everybody really knows that the right answer is no. Stand.
And that
Shut
that
up.
was another thing that was being talked about, that labor laws or something about doing. I wish I could remember. Something. I can't remember the name of the show. I was like half asleep because I woke up because it was hot.
I don't need to know all
That's
Yeah,
what
I
I
was
was
like
fixing
half
to say.
asleep.
She starts saying stuff to me that I don't need to know.
that. What happened right there was completely lost the conversation.
Yeah, I did too.
Somebody said something yesterday in a movie. Oh, fast forward, please. Oh, that's what I'm gonna start doing. When people start going down this rabbit hole I don't want to hear, I'm just gonna be like, fast forward, please.
Well, you're kind of a dick, so you should be able to say whatever. Dick, don't you do it.
But now, I mean, I didn't watch it yesterday, but now the NFL is not showing the national anthem as it's
Well,
being.
Yeah, but you see
I mean,
what I'm
first
saying
it started
is,
out as it was just Fox.
yeah.
And then now apparently.
Well, yeah, but
Everybody
they're
is.
taking their okay. We all know that they play the national anthem. Nobody stands up at home, so they're just taking it out of play, not to give these. About the moss.
No, I did not.
Oh, my damn tablet. Dead.
Fulton County.
All right, let's go.
No. This is up in like
Oh, in
somebody
a
look it
different
up?
state.
Not Mississippi, Missouri, Michigan. I think it might have been in Michigan. Can somebody look it up because I don't have
I'm
a
looking.
computer?
How do you spell mosque? M-O.
Yeah, MOSQUE.
All right, we're back. And Little Richard, I do believe that is the version in which I was thinking you were going to do. I would,
I lost.
it needs to not be 100% pervertish, but it does need to be questionable.
Yeah, it could be per.
Call us. Man, I can't get this damn phone on, man.
I know my tablet. I apologize. I guess it didn't.
I can't tell if I broke this Android or what, because I took it with us to the wedding and people keep saying they keep calling, it's going to voicemail.
The settings, right? Might be off.
I don't know. I don't know what happened. It was
last
in my
night
pocket.
when I got hot.
Huh?
Let's talk about what Stephanie was talking about during the break.
Oh,
last night when I got hot.
I don't miss that. You've been gone a week. I haven't missed it because the state of
Thanks.
the state of confusion has not been as bad.
You've got a certain extra helping of assholedness this morning.
Explain what was happening. Explain what was happening. No, I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest.
You're being kind of a
no. I noticed it since she's back. You're being one.
See, it's all of us, Stephanie.
No, Stephanie. The other day when it was just me and him, he was on point. Casey come in, he goes right back to being this guy, and I'm like, dude, you were doing so good before Casey sat down.
Casey is an elected official. See how I changed that? I did good.
That means nothing. Phone is back on, everybody. Little Richard, call in and give us a sample of Cream singing that Christmas song. I'm not going to say what the name is. I want Cream to call in and do just a quick version, just a little brief, just a little brief one.
Now, the other day when I was
stop for just a second. You want to say I'm being a butt. I want you to explain what the heck was happening. Like Steph went to tell something and she never really got to the point. It took a few extra seconds. And I want everybody to hear what you said.
I was just saying that there was a show I was watching last night that they were talking about the whole NFL and the flag. And,
right.
That I can't remember the name
and
of
then
the
where
show.
did the conversation really go?
I said, because I can't remember the name of the show because I woke up because I got too hot and I was just disoriented.
And now I'm disoriented.
And that's why I'm like, I'm going to do what I saw on a show the other day where that kind of stuff was happening. And the person went fast forward to the part that you're supposed to be telling me.
Bite me.
But, so they're calling me a pain in the butt because
that is not what we're calling you.
Because I'm the one trying to say, get to the point.
It's not what we're calling you an asshole. It's completely different.
Well, you can't say that. It's 9:22. I'm a butthole.
Okay, you're a butthole with an A.
Okay, well, you just keep it censored, sir.
A butthole.
But my point is, you know,
But now you wanted me to look up the mosque in Michigan.
I believe that's where it was. Yes, ma'am.
Now I found something. U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Michigan and the Department of Justice are investigating whether a proposed mosque was treated fairly by Sterling Heights government. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes, because it was turned down.
just for fun.
They're not going to allow them to
I'm
build a
not
mosque.
sure how it's gonna work, sweetie, but I'm gonna have to give it a try.
Okay, let's hear. All right, everybody, for the people that have not heard from Cream. Cream has actually been in Thailand finishing some surgeries. Why are you trying to over-talk me? What did you say?
I said Bangkok.
Okay, so Cream was in Bangkok. Bangkok. What the hell ever
Bangkok.
Stephanie's trying to say. Freaking Tourette's over here. Anyways, nice to have you back, Cream. I'm assuming when you were over in Thailand, the surgeries and all was correct.
It's all good. We're having a good day with it. It's, you know, I got to redo my packing every once in a while, but, you know, that's always the fun part.
Are they moving? Said packing.
Well, it has been relocated. And that's the trip to
Bangkok.
Thailand. So, Cream, you called. You were going to give us a sample of the Christmas song that you want to do to put on just for fun.
Sure enough, sugar. I'm going to see what I can do. Because I'm not the most vocal person when it comes to singing, but I'll try to break it down for you.
Okay. Go for it.
Hold on. Let me get my nerves. Still going.
Get some liquid courage.
Ooh, I'm going to pass out. I keep breathing like that. Ooh, ooh.
Oh, my
Push!
God.
Okay, let me
Push!
see. Let's see. Here it goes. All right, let's see. Jingle balls, jingle all the way. Ooh, look at them jingle. Oh, what fun it is to ride on them jingle balls today. Woo! Okay, that's just a start.
There you go. That's why I just wanted you to just wanted you to save. Oh my God. Well, thanks for the sample because that's what we needed.
Sugar, you got it anytime.
Well, hot dog. Nice that you called in, by the way.
Yeah, I just ate a hot dog. Mm.
Oh my God. Mike,
You have a wonderful day, sugar.
anything you'd like to say to Cream before she goes?
Yeah, does she curdle? Get it instead of cuddle? Do you curdle? Cream, curdle, get it?
Only with my biceps, baby.
Curdle with your biceps. Man, something happened in Bangkok, huh?
Bangkok.
You know what they say? What happens in Bangkok stays in Bangkok.
They had trouble. They said relocating on the forehead was not a good idea, but I wanted to do it anyway.
On the forehead.
Relocating it on the forehead. Mom, look, I'm a unicorn.
Good Lord, I hope we're talking about a birthmark.
Oh my
Dun,
God.
dun, dun.
All right, sugar, I got to go. Y'all have a good day.
All right, you have a good day too.
You too.
And
Uh-huh.
all right,
What
take care.
happened there?
I'm changing some settings if everybody's noticing the sounds changing a little bit. Because I've actually worked on some stuff that apparently did not save. So I'm really I guess it did save. Some of the stuff that I did a week or so ago didn't save correctly, but there we go. So Mike, you were going to say something.
Oh,
What's your version? Let's just throw out your version of a Christmas song.
well,
We're not the redneck when you're already stuttering.
did I get this personally or?
Yeah, well, we're not dealing with that right now,
It
but
did come up in it.
yes,
So I can do. Like I said, I can do a parody. Okay.
I just want you to give us a little cocaine taste, like a drug dealer, of what you're.
The real one or the parody one? Which one would you
Both.
like? Okay. The real one would be kind of like I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
See, that can
Okay.
go good.
And
That
it would
could
be
go
a
good.
serious one. There are also.
But again, and I'm not criticizing you. But again,
Of course you are.
I mean, I'm sure that one's. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's an easy one to pick, and I'm scared everybody's going to pick that kind of stuff.
Are you saying I'm easy? Earth girls are easy.
You're easy. We already know you're
2
easy.
beers and I'm a slut. All right, so
what would your parody be?
Well, I don't want to do it because I don't want anybody else to steal it. It's
Okay, then keep it to yourself.
Yeah, it's a song.
But
it's about dad being drunk.
But I do want
Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
I do want people to write, and it can be to whatever music. I thought it would be cool. What if it's just like I said on that video? What if somebody did a good version of something and got discovered just by doing a Christmas song?
Right.
Just for friggin' fun.
Hello.
Hey, can I speak to Scotty?
Yeah, it's him.
Hello.
You're live on the air with DJ Scottie and the
Yeah,
Fun
you're live.
Crew.
Hey, I just wanted to tell y'all, since you were talking about Christmas in Porterdale, they have a Christmas event, lights,
camera
going on during the time. And
hey, I do need to know the night of the parade, because last year we were in y'all's parade, and we had one person driving and the rest of us were outside throwing candy, and we considered trying to do a trailer this year, but I think I like it better with us walking. But I wanted to date so that we could have Christmas hats, and I just want to do better this year. You know what I mean? You guys are so nice to invite us.
Absolutely. So I will get you that as soon as possible.
Okay.
Also, too, there's so much negative in the world right now as far as this, that, and the other about law enforcement. And I wanted to tell you thank you from local small municipalities for your support.
Yeah, man.
Really, really, I think that you look at the totality of what's going on, and it's just kind of a rough time right now. But over the last 40, 50 years, it's been proven that you have the ups and downs, with anything, and we'll bounce back as an America, as a whole, as a community. So, but I just want to tell you, thank you, Scotty.
No, man, we love all you guys
for the support.
Well, and I tell you all the time, I love when I hear people go, man, them fools got me on a DUI. Well, them fools didn't get you on a DUI. You were the fool that got yourself drunk and decided to get in the car. And I can't stand people that want to blame the police officer for their mistakes. That's the thing that a lot of these riots, which I don't want to get in a big deal about the riots, but a lot of the riots are happening over false information. If you're not complying with a police officer and you reach for a gun, it wouldn't matter if it was a cop or not. If you reached for a gun and I thought I was in fear of my life, I'd shoot you too. I mean, it's just, I hate that the police officers who don't get paid enough money and they run when bullets start, everybody's running away from the bullets and you guys run towards them. Like, that's the thing that drives me nuts when people want to criticize cops. We hate cops, but yet our house got broke into. Where are you? Why aren't you here? How does that make any sense?
Well, I guess it boils down to accountability, and it boils back to being a good parent. Back when I was young, I'm sure you were young. Your parents held you accountable. When the sun, went down, you knew that it was time to be in the house.
Yes, sir.
And you were accountable. I think accountability is now too heavily on electronic devices, cell phones, pagers, Facebook, so forth and so on, all the social media. I think if we go back to, hey, look, when that sun goes down, you need to be in my yard and in my house, and you're my child, and it's my responsibility. And I think that's one, in my opinion, I think that's what we've gotten away from.
Right.
But
I think it's so difficult for us to. I mean, I grew up in the same time. When the street lights came on, you better be making your way back towards the house. That's the way it was.
Yeah, absolutely.
My mother, after my father passed away, obviously, so I had a single mom situation, 3 boys, and we were quite the 3, believe me. But still, it was just fam, no ma'am. It was when grandma and grandpa came over, you brushed your hair and you cleaned your bedroom. So I think what you're talking about a little bit further is that since there's no rules at home, since there's no boundaries at home, that when these little knuckleheads get out in the world and they get around each other. The only thing that takes place is the gang mentality of trying to outdo each other, who's the alpha male, all these other things. Because when I sit there and watch these videotapes of 3 police officers with their weapons drawn saying, stop, put your hands up, turn around, and the individual is still walking towards their car, I have a completely different view of that than probably 99.9% of the population. If you're not doing what you're instructed to do by somebody in a position of authority, okay, and you cannot use that, oh, well, there's bad cops out there. Well, there's bad everything out there. Who cares? The situation is if someone that has been deemed a position of authority and they're telling you you have to comply. If not, there is just a complete and utter breakdown of the social element.
Well, where do you okay, so when you say the leadership, where do you stop as a leadership? It could be a policeman, it could be a ticket taker at the movies, it could be a security guard, it could be a DOT worker flagging traffic. I mean, it's all authoritative positions.
Yeah, it's a loss of respect completely.
It is, and it's all based on to make the the system move forward. It's not perfect. And let me remind you, the biggest thing what everybody misses out, okay? Police are human beings. Judges are human beings. Mayors, elected officials, they're all human beings, and they're stepping up and they're trying to do what they feel in their heart is right. Now, that might not be what somebody else thinks is right, but they're trying to do what they think is right. Now, when we talk about kids in today's society, it's not all children. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'd probably say there's a small percentage of children that I deal with in law enforcement that are great children, that are, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. They come up and hug you. I mean, so don't think that it's just across the board. That there's no accountability from young to old. There isn't. There is a small percentage out there that are against not only law enforcement, firemen, anybody that does the right thing. It's just in every culture, in every animalistic, you got wolves.
Right. You got the predators.
I mean, you got the predator. I mean, look at some deer. I've seen videos where they're out deer hunting, and the deer will walk right up to a hunter with a gun drawn and sniff. What changes that dynamic, the paradigm in that deer? Because they're all born with fear to run away from predators, but this is a different one. So this is an animal that God touched and put.
Can I bring up a really, really serious, and I would really like to get your reflection on this, is because I always say that, like in the military, and I was 28 years, it doesn't matter. Like when I went to this little reunion thing this weekend, I hugged everybody. I hugged husband, wives, kids, dogs, food, everything, right? Because it doesn't matter the color of your skin. When you're in the military, you're green. Okay, so now let's bring it over to the brotherhood of the police officers. I see black police officers being just absolutely disrespected and protested by African-American civilians. So you see what I'm saying is, where does a police officer decide he's an African-American, or where does a police officer decide he's a police officer?
Well, let me answer that by the same response you gave me. When we put that uniform on, we're all blue or we're all brown, because the sheriffs normally wear brown and the police normally wear blue.
Right.
Or gray.
It doesn't really matter. Or gray, it doesn't matter. But we're all same color. And when an officer, white or black, goes out to a call, okay, and what's the first thing that any policeman says with a badge? How can I help you? He's not worried about race. He's not worried about gender, sexual orientation, none of that. It doesn't matter. It all boils down is, how can I help you? And I'll be telling you, my 20 years or my 19 years that I've been in this job, okay, I would die for anybody that's a friend of mine or an enemy of mine, because that's what I swore the oath. And I guarantee you, 99% of the police that I've known, again, they're not all warm and fuzzy. Officers have bad days.
Sure.
Everybody, I mean, officers get cancer, officers get divorced, officers, commit suicide.
Yep.
Their children die in DUIs. I mean, you look at an example of the Dallas police chief. I mean, that is an honorable man. I mean, he grew up in a very low income, had his son killed by a criminal element, and he rose above to the top, and just happenly he's a black male. But the point I'm trying to say is that somebody came from down under and made it to the top. So it can happen. I mean, it doesn't matter who you are, it's what you are. My father used to always say, a job worth doing is worth doing well. And it goes along with garbage truck drivers, ditch diggers, teachers, firemen, radio station spokespeople. I mean,
Dum-dums behind a
Scottie,
microphone.
I mean, I've heard some folks on your show that I'm like, man, what is he doing?
Yeah.
And then I've heard some on there like, wow, what a great commentator.
Right.
So I mean, it goes in both
That's right.
sides.
Sure.
And
I've seen you at your best. I've seen you at your worst.
And I was going to say, and just because of this part of this conversation, so me and my wife go sit down we go for a ride yesterday. It's the first time I've been able to ride since being hurt, and I just felt I needed it. All day I'd been thinking about my grandparents that are no longer with me, and I started realizing, I'm like, how cool is it that my dad's parents, both parents, are buried in the same graveyard that my mom's parents are buried in.
Oh, wow.
So I literally went to see my family. I saw both grandfathers, both grandmothers, and my Uncle Ricky all in one trip. So moral of my story, we went to see to the grave sites and then went over to Tokyo for dinner. So we go to sit down, and where we sit, I'm probably about as far as me and Stephanie away from the next table. And this woman turns and looks at me, and so did her daughter, and there was a guy sitting with them. And apparently the mother must know me from somehow, but it was to the point that she turned her back on me so that I couldn't see the conversation or hear the conversation that her and her daughter were whispering about me sitting there. And at first I thought, part of me wants to ask, hey, what seems to be the problem? But the other part of me thought, suck it.
Yeah.
If you hate me because I speak what I speak, then I really don't care what your opinion is, because somebody's got to stand up for our neighborhoods. Somebody's got to stand up to do the right thing. Somebody has to do these things, because if we all keep doing what that woman did to me and we all just keep turning our shoulder and pretend that the elephant's not in the room, then what world are we going to end up in? So I just thought I would bring that up, because you kind of were mentioning, you people have seen me at my best. People have seen me at my worst, but my motives are always pretty much the same. I'm trying to make you see the world.
Your dynamic never changes.
Yeah.
That's the issue. I mean, people could say the same about me. I'm sure you've heard good and bad about me.
Right. But
the bottom line is, I'm willing to jump in the river and save a man that just a year prior threatened to kill me.
Oh, well, no matter what, your town's doing better than it's ever done. So how can anybody run their mouth? I mean, it's doing the best it's ever been.
Well, and we do appreciate that, but I can tell you why. It's because teamwork. It's because people have stood up and said, okay, it's time for a change. It's going to be a better world tomorrow.
Right.
And that's what you need. You need people to pick up the fire hose. You need people to pick up that weapon. You need people to pick up that book and teach your children. You need people to have a voice. So it's, being from where I was born in England, I can tell you that I'm sitting on my front porch looking at the world, and it's just a beautiful world what we deal with over here. We have freedom of speech. You have freedom of religion. I'm gonna tell you, I'm walking around patrolling yesterday in Porterdale, and I met a woman yesterday. She's like, I love this place. The walking track down here, the gymnasium has been renovated. The park down there, the Yellow River Park with the kayak launch, the Yellow River trails. It's just amazing how much people like the former the Yellow River kayak launch or the kayaks, where they rented the kayaks. They were there for 4 years. They cleaned up the river. They rented kayaks. They did so much for the community. It's amazing.
Right.
The Browns did amazing job in what they did for the past. course, they've gone on, they've moved on to bigger and better things now. But what I'm saying is that, that was their time in history. It's your time in your history to make a difference in Rockdale, Newton County, as far as a radio person, and you're worldwide now. So what is your what's your drive, Scotty? What makes you wake up every morning and get on that radio station, even when you're having medical issues or you don't feel well, or
I'm glad you pointed it out,
like
because we'd made that joke the other day, because my wife had said, if you don't feel good, and I went, no, I got to keep going, because my whole thing is the drive. At first, it was all about the music, and now I feel Robin Hood. I feel like my Superman bike. I feel like there's just something out there now that I've gotten as big as I've gotten. I just feel that it's like you get up every morning and you put the badge on and put your belt on and you grab the dog, you get in the truck, you go to work, because that's what you have to do. And every day that I'm out, whether I'm sick or just needing a day to relax, I'm getting text messages from Joe Leeper. No show. You mean I got to sit here with no show? Jeff Matthias, no show. Ravens renovation. Oh, must be nice. Take their wife on a ride and not do a show. It's. I just feel like this is what I'm born to do. This was my destiny. And when I had the guy break my face, I think I came back as DJ Scottie, and this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm an entertainer, not just a DJ. And there's a lot of time we poke at the situations. But it's like the videotape I shared the other day of the cars racing out of the high school. Do you know how many people are standing up going, my God, why is nothing being done? Well, it's because there's too many, and I don't mean cowards, but there's too many calm people that just accept whatever bad happens. And I'm not an acceptor. I'm a changer. I don't just accept this. If we have a man and a woman neighbor of mine, and the man's beating the woman, I can't just sit there and pretend it's not happening. I can't just close my eyes and pretend it's not happening. I've never been that guy.
But you have to call 911. You have to call somebody. You have to go over there. You have to stop what's wrong.
You have to stop it.
You have to like your military guy to your right or left to you. I mean, what possesses a man to go in the military for 28 years? I mean, there's got to be some integrity in every ounce of his blood, because I mean, I've never been in the military. I have one of the officers that worked for me, Sergeant Boyces. He was in the Army. The stories he tells me, and over in Afghanistan, it's amazing how a grown man can go through that and continue to go through that. So in my hat, I'm sitting on my front porch looking at my world right now. And the freedoms that I have in America is because of people like him in the military, people like in the government. So, I mean, it's amazing how everybody wants to slam everybody and talk negative every day. When's the last time you've heard something good? Like that lady yesterday just happened to be from England, and she lives down in the south part of Newton County. And she said, you know what? Porterdale is a safe community. I don't have anything to worry about. It's a walking, friendly community. And I drive up here with my dog, and we walk every day. Now, how do you think that warms my heart?
That's awesome. I just told you on the phone a couple days ago, I said, well, what's funny is everybody's always been in Georgia making fun of Alabama. That's always been a joke. 10 years ago, everybody was joking about Porterdale. I said, how funny is it now that the residents in Porterdale can make jokes about Rockdale? I'm like, because Porterdale will be the next Midtown. Y'all quote me. It may take another couple years, but it's already, the cycle has already begun. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
It has.
Steph had a question for you real quick.
So,
all right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So here's my question. So with all of this, with the protests on the NFL protests, what's your thoughts on it as a police officer?
You got to be careful with that, though, because you got to remember his position.
Yeah.
I really don't have a comment on that, be honest with you, because, again, I don't know enough about it. I guess it's people's right to have their right to their opinion.
Right.
And if that's how they want to express their opinion, that's their right. I mean, really, if somebody wants to put a Trump sign across my yard on the other side of the street, then that's fine. If somebody wants to put a Hillary over here, then that's fine. I don't have any, I mean, in my job, in my world, the way I've been brought up, you can't really infringe on somebody else. Yes, sometimes I might not agree with it. Sometimes I might not like it, but it's not my place to agree or disagree publicly. It's my place to just, okay, well, that's my opinion. Keep it to myself and move on.
Yes. And I have a hard time with that.
And I know, and everybody does. But if it infringes on my rights, then I have the right to speak up and say, no, stop. But if it doesn't infringe on my rights, then no, that's what America was built on.
That's right. And Mike reminds me of that every day.
I mean, there's freedoms, and I hope I answered your answer or your question.
Yes.
But that's a very delicate. And so, as far as I guess what I would say is that if that's how that citizen of America wants to express themselves, then I guess that's how they want to do it.
That's right.
Every expression has a positive and negative reaction.
Right. Yes. that's like the whole Moss and Covington thing. Everybody keeps saying, what's your opinion? I go, do I trust them? I'll never trust them. That's my opinion. That's my feelings. I'll never trust them. But secondly, if they are a U.S. citizen, if they are if say Bob decides he wants to build a mosque there, is Bob a citizen? Oh, he is a citizen? Then he has every right to do it, just like Billy Bob over here wants to build a Baptist or a Presbyterian church. I mean, that's what our freedoms are granting us. So, it's whether I want it, whether I believe in it, whether I feel that it's good for me or good for my family, doesn't change the fact that my right is equivalent to his.
Yeah, and I wasn't trying to put you on the spot there.
No, not at all. I know I've been doing this long enough. I know what to say, what not to say.
That's
and
right.
Yeah.
I mean, and I can tell you about that mosque. It's not very far from where I hang my hat.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Now, and I've been asked, well, what do you feel about it? What is Porterdale as a police chief? What are you going to do about it? And I'm like, well, I've got a really good opinion. Well, we're going to love them. We're going to hug them. We're going to ticket them, and we're going to arrest them when they break the law, just like everybody else.
That's right.
So why are they any better or any worse than you, me, nobody? If they want to build a mosque there, then that's their right. If they want to build multiple homes, if they want to bury their dead, and that's their right, and they own the property, and they go through the proper channels, and they get the proper permits and do everything else, what everybody else does, then how can you say, because that's not infringing on my rights?
That's right.
That's their freedom. And people don't take lightly that. Now, I'm not against it or for it. I mean, is it infringing on my right? Is it infringing on my property? Is it going to bring more traffic? Yeah. Is the county going to need to use more resources? Yes. But that's called growth. That's how, the city of Atlanta, when I was a young man, it was nowhere near what it is today. I mean, I can remember my father used to say, all right, get the bazooka. We're going to Atlanta Braves. I mean, it was a running joke in the family now, I mean, I've never seen more security guards, MARTA police, sheriff's deputies. I mean, they've even got those guys down in downtown Atlanta now that have those funny looking safari hats, and they're out to help you. And I mean, it's incredible. And I think what really changed the scene of Atlanta and Georgia was the Olympics. I mean, everything has changed. I mean, look at one of the one things that we enjoy in this area that was the development of the Olympics.
A horse park.
And it's really close to you.
Yeah.
The horse park.
Yeah.
I mean, they have gun shows, they have car shows, they have horse shows. I mean, look at all the money and look at all the resources and all the people that come there to our community.
Mm-hmm.
So, what people don't understand, where the left hand touches the right hand, and then it makes a loud clapping noise, and then it makes something. And again, so I didn't mean to take up your show. I just want to call
by no means,
and tell y'all, thank y'all. And like I said, Porterdale is a growing community. It's we want to welcome things. We've got the Christmas parade. And that's, the 4th of July that we do. We just did the Yellow River Jam, which was a huge success. They raised a lot of money. We've got the kayak launch. Now we have an 18-hole disc golf We have the four-way is now a traffic light. And then the other day at the council meeting, Waffle House came and is interested in putting in a Waffle House right there at the traffic light.
Yep. Awesome.
Cool.
So
That'd
it
be
looks
cool.
like we should be getting a Waffle House, hopefully.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully, I'm not saying it's done, but it's hopefully coming.
No, that'd be great.
We've got a big housing development that's in the process. So I mean, the growth is coming.
Look, man,
it really is.
You'd be glad I haven't won $300-something million because we made the joke. I'm not lying. And my wife just typed it, which is funny. The word mosque. She said, we're going to build a just for fun mosque and we're going to worship fun. Because I said, I even jokingly said this. I said, man, if I was to win some money, I said, couldn't you just see us go down there and try to take, a block of the houses that are for sale and like redo a bunch of houses. And I said, man, that would just be the place to be. It just, it's just what we keep joking about. I would love to come in and buy that other building I think the artist lives in that's across the river from the lots.
Oh yeah. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be something to build that and turn that into just for Funville?
Somebody lives there?
Well, when you look at that, that the kayak, they have a new an outfitter that's doing adventurous kayaking, swift water kayaking, smooth water kayaking, and they, like you can go. I think it's called Roth Adventures, ROTH, Roth Adventures. You can go to them and you can say, okay, I can't remember the guy's name. I guess it's Mr. Roth. And say, well, I'd like to do a trip down the Okmulgee for 3 days, pay him a certain amount of money, and he'll provide everything, the transportation. Now, I think that's amazing. Utilizing our watershed, our waterways, because that's the growth. I mean, what does Newton County and Rockdale have to offer? I mean, what do they have to offer? They don't have a racetrack. You have to go to Henry County. They don't have, they have an equestrian center, which is in Rockdale, but what is Newton County? I think they're going to make some kind of equestrian center down at the FFA. I think they're talking about that. But what is really driving, what could really tap into the resources of the future?
Right.
Is water. I mean, look, they got the Alcovey, they got the Yellow River, they've got Lake Varner, they got Lake Jackson. There's and Porterdale is in the heart of that river.
That's right.
And I've been on the river from the horse park down to Porterdale. I've been from Porterdale all the way to Jackson Lake, and it's a fun day.
That's what I want to do. The Porterdale to Jackson. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah. And the name of the company is Roth Wild Adventures, and it's an LLC.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I just wanted
he's just making sure the listeners can get you.
That way they can go to their Facebook page or their website and get some of this information.
Yeah, and I think they rent. I know they rent hard water kayaks. They rent the soft water kayaks. And again, now why did we get to where we're at now? So I have to give out a couple of plugs. The Brown family, they did the Porterdale kayak, the Yacht Club, which they were there, I think, for like 3 or 4 years, 3 years, every weekend. I think they really started this ball. Mr. Roth will take it and run with it. Tanya Beckler, she's over the Yellow River Water Trail. So I mean, I think these are amazing people that have started the ball in Porterdale. I mean, you've got public safety. Hopefully, I'm making a difference down there. One of the good things that we've done here lately, we've got those tag readers on the car. We just had the 2 AEDs given to us through the.
Are you talking about the defibrillators?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. The defibrillators.
So the officers, they're carrying them in the car?
No, they're still pretty expensive. I can't afford to put them in all the cars. But what is it? Firehouse Subs gave me 2 of them.
That's awesome.
So I thought, what's the best way that I could utilize equipment that was given to us? So I put one at the police department and one at City Hall. So those are kind of the 2 places that people go.
That is
and
awesome.
Look at the military Hummers that we were given for free.
Right.
Okay.
And I want to address that. Somebody had spoken one time before, and I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm saying this. Somebody had made the comment about how much money was spent on those Hummers. I said, you do know those were donated from our government to them. I said the most expensive thing they've done, I think, is to get the lettering put on.
No, that was done with. Yeah, we paid for that with drug money.
Yeah,
that wasn't even out of the
yeah, but that's
county
what I
money.
mean. Like that was
drug money.
you know.
Right.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. I just thought that was funny the way you said
No,
that.
no.
But it's funny. People go, man, they spent all that money, and I'm like, those were donated, man.
That was drug money that paid for that.
And basically, what we did with that is that I utilize. Okay, so I had 2 military Hummers. Okay, they'll go anywhere, and they're beasts, but they're not comfortable,
and they're 8 miles to the gallon.
No, they get a little better than that. I was really surprised. But they're miserable. I mean, and you know, you could probably ask the guy sitting next to you. He had to drive them things for many, many, many moons. No wonder he wanted out of the military.
Yeah, that's why his knees hurt too.
Yeah, I was locked in them many times.
I mean, my hat's off to you. I drove one of them back from Jacksonville, Florida, and I wanted out. I wanted out of it. Yeah. They're loud. They're hot. They're uncomfortable.
Full gear, a nice summer day in
There's no way.
Combat locked in. Yeah, it's pretty much hell.
Now, do you use them as like patrol cars, or
we do? No, we don't use them as patrol cars. So what we utilize them in is the either, like a lot of children never get to see them. I mean, all my years of being young, I never got to see military equipment. So we'll take them to an events where we're having that big Unity Public Safety Day. We'll take them so the kids can climb through them and see them, and actually see a part of history, because you know they're not making those military Hummers no more. And these are 1986 models, both of them.
Oh, wow.
So what we do is when it snows, we utilize those vehicles. So we don't have to drive our patrol cars around, and we're not going to get stuck in these Hummers. There's no way. And then so I even went one above, and I thought, well, how can I utilize the other one? So what we did is I was able to buy one of those little old John boats.
Yeah.
And we built a rack on top of it that was donated by sellers. And we turned one of the boats into a river rescue if we ever need it.
Oh,
one of the Hummers. So we have 2 Hummers. One has blue lights, so they're both lettered. And then so we can still drive them around if we need to, as far as inclement weather. But most of the time they just sit, and we need them for a parade or something. Or we had a couple trees that went down by the kayak launch, and they were pretty good sized trees. So we utilized those military Hummers to remove them out of the water. So we didn't have to rent or get any of the equipment. So, I mean, we utilize them. There was a gentleman one time that went full wheeling down by the river and got stuck. We were able to go down there and get them. And so we have used them, but again, let me remind you that they are free. They were, they're really low maintenance. Like I said, it's just another feather in the cap and you're given something, you need to utilize it. If somebody gives you money, then you put it towards, like we had a person during the 4th of July gave me $200 for the police department. So what would be a good way to utilize that? Y'all's opinion. Give me an opinion. What would be a good way to bridge the gap, to help out?
Wait. What time frame was it given to you at?
July 4th.
July 4th. So
yeah,
if you got it,
just say here.
Yeah, but if you were handed it on the day of July 4th, that means you were already in that event, right? So then that means any neighborhood watch event, or bring somebody in to check out, or let's have a police department day, hamburgers, hot dogs, balloons, some candy for the kids, or save it for the Halloween when we all do the candy for the kids around there. So it just seems like if there's already, here's my logic, if there's already a budget for the police department, if the police department also can use money seeds, right, from drugs, then there's money for the police department, so that if somebody donates money, give it back to the community.
All right. So what I did is I turned around and I bought 200 Beanie Babies.
Oh, well.
And
why
so
not?
When we work on an accident, or there's a little child, or he's having a bad day, or we lock up maybe his mother and father, or or sibling or something like that, I go and get it, and then have a little label. So we made some thank you from the Port-Dale Police Department little cards, and we staple them on there, and we give them to the children.
Smart to me.
Heck yeah.
Sounds very smart to me. That's very sympathetic for the children that are facing the problem that they're now stuck with.
Right. So if I can change one child's mind about law enforcement, because like when you were growing up, what did your mom always say? You better not do nothing. The cop gonna get you.
That's right.
You know, I mean, that's you're planting a seed that's going to turn into a dead tree one day.
Right.
I mean, because you shouldn't be afraid of the police, you know?
Right.
I mean, you should have a level of respect, especially if they're giving you a lawful command, you know, or they're trying to, you know, make you safe on some form or fashion. But, you know, overall and generally, you know, I think that law enforcement do an excellent job. I mean, we really do.
Look at what y'all are faced with every day now. You know what I mean? Like, you go to work knowing, and I don't want to sound like Debbie Downer, but you go to work knowing that half the people in the United States love you. You know that for a fact. You know half of them love you. It's that other percentage that I don't know today who hates me and who doesn't hate me. Yeah. And that's the bad part.
Scott,
you know?
I disagree with you. It's higher than 0.5% or 50%. It's way higher than that. It's because again, I'll give an example. When you watch the news, how many good things where a little old lady lost $1,000 and it was returned?
Right.
You don't hear that.
Hey, I just lost $100 the other day and nobody bothered to tell me it fell out of my pocket.
So,
just saying. No lie.
Out of all the positive things that happen, how many times do they actually hit the newspaper?
Yeah.
I mean, very rarely. So again, like you said a minute ago, there is a fashion or a facet that's not law enforcement supportive, and that's fine. I mean, that's their right, that's their opinion.
Right.
And it is tough going to work, you know, knowing that there is certain people, and you might not make it back that day. You might get killed, or you lose your life, or hurt, or
sucks.
But I mean, it's just a part of it. You just walk through that flame, and you just do the best you can, and hopefully, when you get through it, you're you know, you can go on to fight another day.
Yes, sir. I got you. Well, I hate to do it, my brother. We got to cut out, and we got a few minutes to finish up on the show. But I appreciate you calling in.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Thanks.
Take care.
Thank you.
And thanks for your military service, guys.
Oh yeah, thank you.
And let me know about the. I mean, you ain't got to let me know now, but I'll see you this Saturday at the first responders thing that we're doing. So
yes,
find out if just as soon as you can about the Christmas and Halloween. That's definitely something to figure out. So I'll talk at you.
Well,
Saturday.
you know Halloween. You know we're gonna blow it out.
Yeah, man. I know.
All right.
See you later.
Take care, Scotty.
Bye bye.
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 All right, everybody, hang tight. We got to shit off to commercial real quick. We'll be right back.
Right back.
Hey.
So they're doing something for Halloween in Porterville?
Yeah, they always give away stuff. They try to do it either the night of Halloween or the Saturday.
Ooh.
That's why I got to find out which day. Yeah.
Is it kind of like a trunk or treat that they do?
What?
Is it kind of like a trunk or treat that they do?
Yeah, they set up at the police department, and people just come by and get stuff. They just have like Holly dressed up, everybody dressed up. Like Richard's something. I don't know what he was talking about, if he's calling in or what he's doing. Dum 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 dum.
That's cool, Holly.
I like that picture, but I can't share it or post it.
Look, Holly just sent me that picture. That's cool. I didn't know y'all did that.
Say that when you get back live. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we is back. We's trying to hurry. We got a bunch of stuff going on. Holly had just sent a picture to Stephanie of her dressed up as the old crazy lady from the Halloween. So yeah, man, it's really good to go down there. Like I said, y'all should just go hang out down there that night. It's really cool seeing the neighborhood kids.
It's cool. You can walk around and do everything down there too.
So Nikki just said, I pulled 400 out of the ATM the other day. Didn't realize that I didn't have but 380. I said, well, maybe that person needed an extra 20 more than me. You know, I said to Crystal when I asked her if she took it, because she had to take Zaylee to the hospital the other night. So I said, did you get the money? She goes, no, my God, I would ask you first. I said, no. That's not what I meant. I would rather have given it to you. I would rather have given it to my daughter. I would have rather have bought a new part for my Harley. I would have rather have handed it to Mike. I would have rather have handed it to Stephanie. I would have rather have given it to somebody than just know I dropped it in a damn parking lot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you gave it to somebody else.
I gave it to somebody, all right.
But it was somebody you didn't know.
Freaking brand new $100 bill, man.
Brand new bill.
And I did the math. That's what I was trying to tell Stephanie the other day. I did the math between the wedding that I wasn't able to do and the money I spent going to the doctor. Not my prescriptions, mind you. Between losing $100, going to the doctor, and not doing the wedding, I am now down $1,050. The month of September. People are like, well, you didn't make the money. Yeah, it was guaranteed money. I went to the hospital on Friday, couldn't go to the wedding on Saturday. I lost $1,000 last month. The month of September was horrible for me.
Yeah, and Holly just sent me that they have scary music, blue lights. They give candy to the kids, and they always do it on Halloween. So it's always on Halloween that they do it.
Let's catch this real quick, just for fun. Hello.
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 Hey.
Hi.
Oh, man, I got to tell you this awesome story. I found this $100 bill on the ground the other day. It was so awesome.
Man, did you now? You didn't leave it on my table when you left. Wait a minute. That would sound really bad. Hey, I needed to get with you, by the way, everybody. This is Lou, who did our 80s show the other night. The night that you want to do it on the 20th, I don't know that I'm going to be in town. That's my anniversary.
21st?
Yep. Me and my wife got married on the 19th. So we have court, as believe it or not, we were supposed to be on a cruise. But our court date for little Zaylee is on the 19th. So we had to cancel the cruise. So our anniversary is the same day we got to go to court about Zaylee and the whole adoption stuff. And my wife wants to sneak out of town for a couple of days.
How many years you married?
This will be our 3rd year. We've been together 5.
3 years, man. You guys are newlyweds.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
We've been together since 2011.
I've been married for now 21 years.
Isn't it awesome when you got the right one?
I'll be married 24 in November.
She deals with all my crap. That's the big thing, man.
That's what I said.
You know. Hey, I just want to let you know. We have people listening in Arizona and in Massachusetts on Friday night.
Cool. That is awesome.
Yeah, we have people all over the place. So, hopefully your fans that are local enjoy the show on Friday.
Yeah. And I think it's going to work out great. You doing once a month. Mike's going to do once a month. Casey wants to do a Headbangers Ball. Stephanie's wanting to do.
I got a great list for Casey.
See?
You got to get me in touch with him.
Yeah.
I found him a great list of really heavy, I'm talking Pantera type of music.
And so we'll see. And then on top of that, when you get into the real heavy stuff, that's right up the line where Jacob is. So that would be really good.
Yeah.
But what's great is we're almost going to be like a total flashback on Friday nights of the 80s, because you're going to be spinning the top 40 type stuff, and then the movie stuff, and everybody. This is DJ Lou for the ones that didn't catch this. He did our 80 nights, our 80s kind of flashback night last Friday night. He's going to be covering one type of the 80s. Mike's wanting to cover one type of the 80s. Stephanie's going to be covering one type. Casey, and then Joey the Voice is squeezing in there somewhere. So every Friday night, it looks like we're going to have a cool setup.
Yeah, and different voices, different thoughts, different ways of running it. So that when people on that Friday, they just they're like, what's going on this Friday?
That's right.
What's going to happen? And that's actually kind of cool,
Yeah.
I had a cousin of mine who contacted me and said, hey, can you do a Weird Al 80s night?
Oh, my God.
Play the original version and then play the Weird Al version.
That would be beautiful,
That would be fun.
and talk about it like he didn't get permission from Coolio, and Coolio made such a big stink about it, right? But yet, Coolio, the one-hit wonder who was going broke, sure didn't mind taking the money.
Oh, of course not.
You see what I'm saying? Like, he didn't mind taking all that money.
Yeah, and Michael Jackson actually called him and asked him to do do Beat It.
Yeah.
From Beat It. Because he was like, you got to do my song.
Isn't that something?
And is that hilarious?
And I've watched some of the VH1 stuff where some of these people have said, you've made it when Weird Al does a cover. That's when you know you've made it. Right.
Yep.
But that would be cool if you do that.
Yeah, that'll be great. So what we'll do is we'll figure it out. And if you're not going to be here, what we should do is maybe just replay that show that I did.
Yeah, and I may have to do that because I don't know that I'm going to be here, but I will know more soon. You know what I mean? She just really
what you could
wants
do is
to do something.
get me that MP3 and I could fix the front end.
Yeah.
Because hey guys, if you didn't know it, we screwed up a little in the beginning of the show. We didn't record it all.
Right.
I think what did we miss? We missed the opening.
We missed your opening.
Damn.
Yep.
I've never done that before.
Yep. We were just trying to do so many buttons because we had Lou hooked up a different way than we've ever done before. So when I went to throw now what's considered our mic button is for Lou, it's just a live button. It's just all it is for him is live because he controls himself.
So is it kind of how Joey was set up?
It's almost identical to how Joey was set up. Same
it was kind of great. I'm also glad that we didn't have it on YouTube because there would have been a lot of boring times.
Well,
sitting there waiting for
well, that's what I was gonna say because you would have to mute all the music you're playing onto YouTube, so people would just see you playing on your phone, scratching your head.
Yeah. I was sitting there
reminded me of a different show that we
what I was going to say next, what was coming on next. You know, there wasn't much that was going on. That was the boring. I mean, that's what people don't understand about real top 40 radio is all the in-betweens of what people are doing.
That's right.
Getting the commercials ready, and it's boring as heck.
We would almost have to record it, not be live YouTube, just record it on webcam and then splice it all together. That would be the only way it would be entertaining.
Well, just let me know when the MP3 is ready. I can actually probably re-record the beginning end. Or maybe what we should do is maybe I should come in and can you record there without us being live?
Oh God, yeah. We can use Audacity.
Okay, so what we'll do is how about we re-record the front end?
Yeah.
And I could splice it together, or we could splice it together so that the front end is perfect.
Right, that'd be great.
And then we can go into just having that ready. And I want to share it on my Mixcloud account.
Yeah.
I got a few hundred people like, dude, you got to share it on Mixcloud. I got to listen to it.
That'd be good.
And it's a thing called Mixcloud. It's a DJ sharing website where DJs make mixes and they share it with everybody else and they have followers. And it's a great way for you to listen to.
Send me that link.
So what, Mixcloud?
Yeah, just send me that link too, because I think that's the one Tubby used once, and I just forgot about it. Yeah, I get so busy. I get
Mixcloud.com.
Mixcloud.com.
It's very simple, but I'll send that to you.
Okay.
It's really cool because you could follow different music that you like. Like Stephanie, you might like whatever style of music. You could type it in, and it'll come up, and you could hear different DJs mixing that style of music.
Yeah, she could type in down in the holler. It would involve every Home Depot bucket, broomstick, and shoestring possibly made.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. Hopefully I sound a little bit like Casey Kasem a little bit.
Yeah,
hopefully.
You did good, man. My wife was saying that you sounded so much like that.
That was cool. Well, that's awesome. Well, I just wanted to call in to let you guys say hey, and I found that $100 and I'll bring it to you one time.
All right, thank you very much.
One day.
Spend it on a Harley Park,
Or at
let
least
me know when we can come in. We'll
take me to lunch. Okay, brother, it sounds good.
Yeah, McDonald's. There you go.
All right, man. I'll see you later.
All right,
bye.
See you later.
All right, Rich was trying to call in on my personal phone, and I don't know if that was him trying to call in the first time. And little Richard was going to call in too. I got to sneeze. Anybody wants to call in? We are running over just a few minutes. We'll probably go to 10:30 at this point because we are waiting on these phone calls. Hurry up and call in.
Dun, dun,
Somebody do the trivia, not trivia, Jeopardy music.
Do, 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 do 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 do.
Most boring 30 seconds of my life.
You said to do it.
I know. I did not say that I didn't. I just it's one of those things. Can I get back that 30 seconds? I figured somebody would have called in by now.
Yeah, I think at this
They
point
didn't like my
playing
do
with
do
us.
do 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 do.
Yeah.
Peter Gunn, man.
All right. So tonight, World According to Mike, what's your plans?
Dun dun dun. 7 o'clock. We're gonna discuss
And
the
we have a caller as you
Sorry.
start talking.
Just for fun.
advantages of a colonoscopy. Hello, caller.
Good morning.
Oh,
And
now another one.
one.
Go ahead.
Good morning. How are you?
Pretty good. What you got, sir?
Good. The Christmas Carol song list, we are trying to get every one of our artists / singers / wannabes to
slashers
submit to the email. Help me out here. Just for fun radio.
Are you asking or saying? Because here's what we got to figure out. We need to figure out a way that there could be some kind of list that people can check in on and everybody see what somebody else is going to do. Because I don't want 100 versions of Jingle Bells. I mean, three maybe, but we got to figure out a way. Unfortunately, I was fixing to say it one way, but I don't know that it would work. You know, like we have the Just for Fun page message board where we can all write in. But the problem is if Steph and Mike carry on a conversation now, in 6 hours, when I finally get signed into it, I'm not going to read what they wrote 6 hours ago. That's my problem. We need to figure out something, maybe invent a Facebook page and call it the Just for Fun Christmas songs and let everybody chime in on which ones, you know, literally we could chime in and, you know, I don't know. We got to come up with a way.
Yeah, well, right now we've got everybody going to email us at justforfunradio@outlook.com.
Yeah, that's where they're sending all the MP3 music. Now, I want to say this, and I don't want to sound like I'm being a meanie for this, but I keep getting people go, here's a link to go get it from SoundCloud. Just it's your song. Email it to me. I don't want to sound like I don't want to sound petty, but I don't have time to try to go find your music. Just send me a copy of it. You know, that's all I want. Just email me a copy. That way, all I got to do is just download all this stuff and just make it a little faster on me. And I don't mean to sound like a hard ass for saying that, but it's a little hard when people keep sending me to SoundCloud, and then I have to. I don't use SoundCloud, which means I got to go find all your stuff. It's just easier just to email me an MP3.
Yeah.
It's faster for me.
Just be able to,
on my end.
Email the MP3.
Yes, sir.
To that email address that we just gave, justforfunradio@outlook.com.
Yep.
We're going to have to be a little wavy here on when we're going to open up the studio. I know we decided one day would be October 15th. And I know that I have at least one artist that won't be able to make it there, but she wants to get in there. So we're looking at maybe a weekday night that we can offer a little bit of time to people. But I don't know what kind of response have you gotten so far. I mean, I've gotten tons of responses.
Oh, dude, I've got people from California calling me, going, "So, you want some music?" And I'm like, "Yes." I mean, only because I know the guy in California. He's from Georgia. Yeah, he was a lead singer of a band that he created. That my uncle was a drummer. I love Ben to death. So I'm like, "Yes, send me anything you got." He's actually got one song that I love that I've been trying to get a copy of for years. So if I can get Ben to send me music, I'm all for it. But anyways, go back to what you're saying. I definitely want Georgia people. That's for sure. I'm not saying it can be, it can't be somebody from Tennessee, but I want to give us people who don't get the breaks a break. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I've got a couple of bands they're going to go ahead and record in their studios because they want to go full band.
No problem. Now, please get with My Dying Wheel, and I'm not criticizing them because it's the type of metal they play, but I just need to make sure that we can clearly hear it. You know what I mean? And I don't mean that in a negative way, but it's a Christmas song, and I need people that are hearing it, even if it's got a real rough sound to the music end of it. I just got to make sure the words are very clear for people to hear, because they could do a crazy version of "Mean One, Mr. Grinch." I think that would be just awesome.
I've expressed to them in the past too that I need to hear the lead singer more than I need to hear the music.
Okay, well that's from management.
And I couldn't understand a word you just said.
That's right. So, but listen, Military Mike.
I'll talk with Jamie over that.
Okay, Military Mike says he's going after Savannah. He's going to irritate her till she does a Christmas song.
She'll probably beat him to a pulp.
She needs to do a Christmas song like "I see my Santa stalker peeping through the window."
What a way to go!
And it'd be Military Mike. I saw this fat gray guy peeping through my window. I shot him with a Glock 45. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I did my duty of asking, and I got a response back. You know how I feel about this.
I'm gonna keep calling her out. You know how I feel about this? I want a song. I am not giving up. I'm not giving up.
We're looking at basically a little bit, 10, 14, 10, 12 days till the 15th date that we open up. What time do you want to have people start rolling here? About 9 o'clock in the morning?
I don't know. The 15th so far seems to be a week, a Saturday that I'm open. So Mike's going to come try to hang out and help organize it. I
will be there.
Okay, you'll be here too. Okay, so that's what I needed. I needed some organization because I'm going to be hitting, I'm going to be hit. Because some people probably have to go stand out in the backyard while we're recording too. And I know, like with the acapella acoustic kind of sound, I can shove somebody in the bathroom too, because that's got a really good sound. Well, no, but for singing a lot of country stuff, that bathroom records great.
I say we send them all to
Stephanie. We're not singing on the toilet, chick. Just the bathroom itself. Plus, I need to finish doing soundproofing down here.
That would be funny though, to have somebody sitting on the toilet take their picture.
Have you never sang in the shower?
Well,
have you ever taken
Stephanie? Have you noticed how much better you sound singing in the shower than you do like in the car?
I sound good. Period. Thank you very much.
Have you ever taken a shower?
She's tone deaf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's back to entertainment management over here. So, you got us. How many people do you think we have so far that's wanting to be in this?
Can't hear you.
That's a good guesstimation.
No, we couldn't hear you. It sounded like you were talking in a soup can.
No, it's his phone. He's traveling down the interstate.
Right now, if I was to say, I'd say we got at least 7 that are going to show up Saturday.
Golly, that show up. That ain't even counting the ones that are just wanting to send me what they already have.
Yeah, we got to stagger it out a little bit too. We can't have everybody here at the same time.
Yeah. But anyway.
Well, that's why I need to know when we're going to open shop up, and that way we can say if you're going to be here Saturday, we
need to know
once we can confirm.
Right.
Time is already running out on us here on getting this done. So every moment we get to express to someone either via Facebook or on air, we need to tell them the same story over and over and over again. And make sure that everyone's got it in their brain on when and where and what they're going to be presenting to us.
As much as you stutter and and
hey, could you be nice?
Holy smokes, there's 2 days worth of time right there.
Well, I'm not saying.
Thank
I'm not worried about
God.
He could help me with the porky pig. Anyways, we got to roll, buddy. I appreciate all that you're doing, though.
We do. We love you, Rich.
No problem. Yep, just for fun radio at outlook.com.
That's
Give
it.
us your submissions.
All right.
And when you think you can get to the studio.
Best.
All right, brother. I'll holler at you here later on.
Best money.
All right, bye.
All
right, now if Little Richard was calling, you have to. We have 3 minutes left. I'm checking to see. I had a link somewhere of that my uncle had sent me of his brother-in-law.
That just sounds.
I know it sounds.
That just sounds
crazy.
So Stephanie reunion.
He was sending me a link and I can't find it now. I guess he sent it to me in text message. I don't know.
And you deleted it.
But well, with me, there's no telling as much as my phone runs. We got a boogie. I'm sure.
I got a breakwater. So
All right, you guys, we're going to get out of here. Everybody have a great day. It's been just for fun. Wow. Was this a typical Monday?
Monday.
This was a good Monday. You know, usually we're a little slow. Okay, let's catch this real quick. Just for fun.
Hello.
Thank you, caller.
Yeah, baby. I just want you to know. Yeah, I want to sing a slow song. When it comes to all that, I'm gonna send it up to you peoples.
Okay.
It's gonna be good.
Okay, well that'd be good. We got like some Barry White kind of jazz going.
Marvin Gaye.
You'll never
Marvin
find
Gaye, don't be.
Say again.
Another love like mine.
I said Marvin ain't gay. Don't be talking like that.
Oh, okay.
That's his name, dude.
Yeah, but he cool. He cool. He one of my buddies.
What about some Clarence Carter?
He's some good peoples.
I like Clarence. I like Clarence Carter. Cool too.
Sound like
So
Prince if he was still alive.
Yeah,
I need you to if you're gonna sing a Christmas song, I need you to go study the song Candy Liquor and learn that one, and then call me back.
Oh Lord.
If you can do a Christmas version similar to that.
I hear you. I look it up. And I take care of you.
All right, man. Well, thanks for calling in.
All right. Peace out.
All right. Y'all have a good day, everybody. It's just fun in the morning. We're gonna boogie out of here too. Bye on video. We'll go ahead and say that now. We is out. We will see y'all on the